watching, yes, the Yankees Entertainment and Sports Network.
Well, the buses arrived early this morning, taking the old-timers from Manhattan here to the Bronx, where they made that legacy. They all got cheers as they walked into the ballpark, ready to play a young man's game again. And once inside the ballpark, the cheers rained down. Recent vintage Yankees got the biggest cheers. Our very own Paul O'Neill and David Cone, huge ovations. And then at the end, of course, the showstopper, Whitey Ford and Yogi Berra. It's time for baseball as Hyundai presents the Sunday game of the week. It's the New York Yankees against the Tampa Bay Rays in the final game of a 4-game set from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball. Along with David Cone and Paul O'Neill, I'm Michael Kay. They've showered, they're ready for a game, and so are we. Following yesterday's ball game, the Yankees would like more of the same. And what they did was they won a ball game when Joe Girardi went to the bench and told Vernon Wells to go hit. And that hasn't worked for the last couple of months. It did yesterday.
Yeah, he has been struggling. There's no doubt about it. He's struggling to the point where he's been kind of replaced. Unbelievable. Big 97-mile-an-hour fastball, drives it in, 3-run double, puts the Yankees ahead. One of the bigger hits he's had all year. Yankees stole this game.
Well, the Yankees now will try to take 3 out of 4 against the Rays. And we'll take a look at the New York Lottery pitching matchup. Chris Archer will go for the Rays, and Ivan Nova for the Yankees, 2-1, 5.16. David, it's hard to figure out Ivan Nova. He's got great stuff, but he hasn't pitched great all the time.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, scouts look at Nova's stuff, and they light up. 95-mile-an-hour fastball. He's got good breaking stuff, both a slider and a curveball. And when he's on, he's on. But when he's not, this is what happens. Extra base hits. Not only extra base hits, a lot of home runs as well. Nova's got to learn how to manage his stuff, manage himself, and be able to get some quality starts while he gets a second opportunity.
So he gets called up from Scranton Wilkes-Barre to make the start. And you look at his numbers down there. They were outstanding. Yankees want more of the same. Yankees want more of the same from Zoilo Almonte. Boy, has he been great for the Yankees. He's in the lineup again, and we'll detail how good he's been when we return right here on Yes. Dormant, then Zoilo Almonte stepped in. Look what he's done. 5 hits and 8 at-bats, 1 home run, 4 big ribbies, 2 runs scored, and shown really an amazing presence and almost unbelievable patience at the plate, especially for a rookie. The Yankees are hoping for more of the same. When we come back, it's time for the real game. Lineups, first pitch, baseball, Yankees against the Rays, right here on Yes. model year lineup at JaguarUSA.com. By Grown Ups 2 in theaters July 12th. And by the Experience Buick lease. It's a new lease on luxury. What a great Old Timers Day presentation by the New York Yankees, as some of the people that made this organization what it is came out on the field, had the wonderful time. The crowd loved it, and two of the guys that actually did participate, my partners in the broadcast booth for this game, Paul O'Neill and David Cohn. Let's check out the lineup that Ivan Nova is going to face, as put together by Joe Madden of the Tampa Bay Rays. Rays at 38 and 37. The DH is Matt Joyce. He leads off. Batting second, playing center, Desmond Jennings. Ben Zobrist at second will bat third. Cleaning up third baseman, Evan Longoria. James Loney at first base will bat fifth. Batting sixth, playing right field, Will Myers. Kelly Johnson left field will bat seventh. Batting eighth and catching, Jose Molina. And Yunel Escobar, the shortstop, will bat ninth. And it's going to be Ivan Nova on the mound for the Yankees.
Welcome back, Ivan Nova. He had a couple of good rehab starts, as we showed you in our pregame, and he's looking to capitalize on another opportunity here. And you see it's the strikeouts to walks, 10 to 26, and we're going to give you the pitcher scout report brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealer, and earn your spot in 3 starts at AAA Scranton before being recalled. He was 2-0 with a 2.04 ERA, and he had 17 Ks and 17 2/3 innings, and not in my house. And 5 career starts at home versus Tampa. He's 4-0 with a 1.83 ERA. He's allowed 2 earned runs or less in all 5 starts. Pretty good matchup for him here today, and find the old form. He went 26-6 with a 4 ERA through the first 48 starts of his career, and in 18 starts since, he's 4-7 with a 6. So he's looking to turn it around.
All right, so they bring up Nova today. They send down Thomas Neal to make room on the roster. And when you ask Joe Girardi, well, what's next for Nova? He said, we will see. So let's see how he pitches in today's game, as the Yankees try to take 3 out of 4 from the Rays. Matt Joyce digs in. Nova takes a look around as the infield shifts to the right side. Nova's ready on the rubber. Gets the sign from Stewart. And let's do it here in the Bronx. First pitch is up and away, and we are underway.
Coney, I mean, you've been in a situation where you've been hurt and this, and they're kind of messing with the rotation. Get into this guy's head. What's he think? I mean, am I fighting for a job here, or am I just coming back in its ear? I don't know.
Yeah, I think you're right, Paulie. I mean, he kind of got humbled a little bit and put down in AAA after his rehab start and his injuries, and he's kind of been, he's got to earn his way back. After having sort of, been given a spot in the rotation for a while, and he's got great stuff, no doubt about it, and he's going to keep getting opportunities. But a little competition might be a healthy thing for him right here, and even pitching well today might lead to another start up here, or it might not. So.
Line drive, a base hit to right field by Matt Joyce. Ichiro will get the ball in. A leadoff single for Joyce.
Well, in the past, when I see Nova get hit hard, his fastball gets up, he gets a little flat, and he can miss with the slider. That's a high fastball up in the zone. As a hitter, it gives you so much time to see the ball, and you see there's no sink on it when it gets that high. It's a good pitch to hit. Those are tough ones to get away with, huh, Tony?
Yeah, that's the thing, and he hasn't. As last year he led the major leagues in extra base hits allowed, so that's exactly to your point.
Desmond Jennings with a push bunt. Nova makes the play. A nice play by Nova to get the out at first, and moving to second is Joyce. Not scored a sacrifice, as Jennings was bunting for the hit.
You can see the athleticism. Nova's a good athlete. Paulie's 6'5". Scouts light up when they see a body like that on the mound and a guy with his kind of stuff. So it is a little bit of a mystery that somebody with this kind of stuff could struggle like he did a little bit. But
yeah, I mean, the start of his career, he built so much confidence, winning games, and it just, it is kind of a question mark. Here's a guy, great attitude, pitches. I mean, he's got great stuff. You just expect him to take the mound and give you a great opportunity to win every time. It just hadn't been that way.
They changed that scoring to a sacrifice bunt for Jennings.
I was just going to say, Jennings is going to be a little upset with that one. You move a guy over and then they give you an at-bat anyway.
The 1-0. Lined over the leaping try of Nixon to left field. Joyce rounds third. He will score. Almonte gets the ball into second. An RBI single for Zobrist. And the Rays are on the board first.
Well, Zobrist has had a good series. And again, if you look at these pitches, Coney, a lot of the plate, not much movement on him. He's not going to throw the ball by him. He's always had good movement. And you see that's just kind of a tail. There's no downward movement. It just kind of goes across the plate. It makes it a good pitch for the guy to hit.
Well, if you see Stewart behind the plate, he got crossed up as well. So Stewart have a little talk with Nova. But if you watch how Stewart was going down for a breaking ball, he's lucky that Zobrist hit it. Or Stewart would have had no glove on that pitch.
Pitch inside to Longoria. We told you Thomas Neal was sent down to make room for Nova, and he tweeted out, "You either get it done or you don't," and I didn't, plain and simple. And the fact that Almonte did kind of made him expendable. You don't want to carry that many outfielders. Now the starting rotation going forward has Kuroda on Tuesday against the Rangers, Pettit Wednesday, and Hughes on Thursday. So Phil kind of pushed back after the doubleheader. See what Longoria has done in the series against the Yankees: 4 hits and 10 at bats and 3 home runs. So throwing 95 miles an hour, but has fallen behind Longoria 3-0.
It's kind of nice. You know, Thomas Neal got 11 at bats, so can't be too hard on himself. He had a great year going in AAA, and I'm sure he'll get another opportunity, if not here, then somewhere.
Kind of hard to judge a season on 11 at bats, especially when, you know, the first 4 or 5 of them are just getting accustomed to being up here.
There's Longoria and what the damage that he's done. He has 4 hits and 3 of them are home runs.
And you'll see these home runs with a slightly different approach from the old days where he used to hook everything, staying inside the ball. And this one right here, I mean, dead center field. Shows what type of player and what type of power he has.
So he walks Longoria, and that puts runners on first and second. Still 1 man out. Let's check out the Yankee defense here in the first inning behind Nova. You've got Almonte in left, Gardner in center, and Ichiro over in right. Infield, it's Adams, Nix, Cano, and Overbay third to first. Chris Stewart is behind the plate. Ivan Nova is on the mound. Here's James Loney.
Every once in a while, organizations just pick up guys over the offseason, and they just become, you know, just pleasant surprises. And Loney goes right into that mold. He's hit the ball well. He's had a good, solid year.
It looks like he hits into a double play.
Doesn't even wait for me to tell how good he is. He hits into a double play.
1-6-3. You can tell that story a little bit later on. Rays score a run. Rays won, and the Yankees coming to bat. Chris Archer, and here's a Yankee starting lineup that he's going to face, and it's presented by Lexus. Brett Gardner in center will lead off, batting second, playing right field, Ichiro Suzuki. Robinson Cano, the second baseman, hits third. Cleaning up the DH, Travis Hafner. Lyle Overbay at first base will bat fifth. Batting sixth, playing left field, the switch hitter Zoilo Almonte. Jason Nix, the shortstop, bat seventh. The number 8 hitter is the third baseman David Adams. Chris Stewart will catch, and he's going to bat ninth.
We got another one of the Rays' bright prospects in the pitching ranks, and Chris Archer is it. You want to think about probably why they traded Shields and Wade Davis, because they knew they had guys like this waiting in the wings. And so far, been knocked around a little bit. 18 strikeouts, the 14 walks kind of jump out at you in 19 2/3 innings. Check out the pitcher scouting report brought to you by Tri-Honda Dealers. 1-2 punch. He entered the 2013 season ranked number 2 prospect in the Rays system, right behind Will Myers, and we've gotten a look at him. Slider happy. He's thrown his slider 104 times this year. Just one hit allowed off of that pitch. That one hit was a game-winning home run by Daniel Nava. And elite heat, he's averaging about 95.2 on his fastball. It's slightly higher than Matt Harvey's of the Mets, slightly lower than Steven Strasburg.
Got the old-timer socks working, too. Look at that.
Love it. I don't know why people still don't wear the stirrups. I mean, I remember Bobby Mercer growing up. He wore the stirrups up high. It just looked great. Now, looks like you're wearing bell-bottoms. But not Chris Archer. That one is looped into left field. It is a base hit for Gardner. Johnson misplays the ball, and that allows Gardner to go to second. So a single and an E7. Now let's check out the defense.
Or lack of.
Or lack of for Tampa Bay. We've already seen Kelly Johnson, who gets an error in left field. And you've got Desmond Jennings in center and Will Myers over in right. Infield is Longoria, Escobar, Zobrist, and Loney third to first. Molina behind the plate. Archer is on the mound. All right, here is Ichiro Suzuki. Let's see if he bunts. We've seen the Yankees do this a lot. Shows bunt, takes high.
I'll tell you, this 1-2 punch so far seems to be really working. Gardner, Ichiro, he's setting the table. This lineup still not an easy thing for Joe Girardi, day in and day out. Got to figure out certain things.
Bunted straight up in the air. Molina makes the play. So there's one away. Yankees baseball is available in Spanish by hitting the SAP button on your television. SAP is brought to you by Infinity.
Again, always keep the bat above the ball when you're butting, and you see that Ichiro, oh, it's a horrible feeling as a hitter. He's trying to get the job done, and you see his reaction. But Ichiro, as soon as he just dropped the barrel, and it's like, ah, no, don't do that.
I say it all the time. Sounds like a broken record. You have a guy who's going to have 4,000 hits. There's a guy at second, and why would he bunt?
You know, I was looking at the way he squared around, Michael, and I was thinking exactly what you were thinking. I don't mind if it's more of a bunt for a hit,
right?
You know, and in that case, he kind of waited till the last minute to square around. So with Ichiro's speed, it's not a true sacrifice, but it looked like you see his eyes. His eyes are going towards guiding that ball down third base. But late, kind of a little bit late. If he gets that down and gets going, that could be an in-betweener where it's more of a bunt for a hit as well as a sacrifice. I like the weapon, Michael, of a bunt for a hit more than I agree with you. I don't like to give up outs. You got a young pitcher on the mound, and Ichiro could pull the ball to the right side and get Gardner over as well.
And also maybe get a bigger inning going rather than just one run. But we've seen a lot of it. It seems like, the Yankees scratch for runs, so they bunt in the first inning a lot.
You see Archer at 96, the inside corner. That's tough to turn on.
That's what Wells was throwing to you, right? During your at bat?
Yeah. Threw me the curveball just to try to embarrass me.
And you crushed it.
I didn't crush it. I got the barrel on it, though.
A little flashback. Look, oil can Boyd out there a little bit from this angle.
Yeah, you're right. Absolutely.
Fouled away. Let's take a look at Ichiro's bunt on Yes View.
Well, most of the times in Yes View, right before contact, good things are going to happen. But you see the barrel of the bat under the ball. That's bad things.
So count 1-2 on Cano. Runner at second, 1 man out. Bottom of the first inning, Rays lead 1-0. Skied the other way into the seats.
I'll tell you what, Tony, that's an overpowering fastball in on the inner half, 95, 96. See, Robbie, these are tough at bats for your better hitters because, you know, the base is open. The pitcher's going to throw you his nastiest stuff, and if he walks you, he walks you. But he's been in on his hands his whole at bat.
Let's check out the game time weather presented by Bigelow Tea. 84 degrees, 53% humidity. The wind is 15 miles per hour. It's mostly sunny.
Coney, it's a little toasty on the field. What do you think? Huh?
It was. That old timers game maybe went 1 inning too long, possibly for some of us out there.
I've never seen a 5-inning old timers day. Amazing.
Tipping 100.
Great to see El Duque back today, though. First time. Wow, I was anxious to see him, talk to him. His English gotten better, Paulie.
A little bit.
That one gets away from Molina. So they get Gardner over to third. And you know that Archer's throwing hard, that Molina could not block that.
It's an overthrown fastball, but all of a sudden, I mean, you got to do a quick thing, a quick turnaround as a hitter because you know, before you got a guy on second base, you're in the hole. All of a sudden now, all you got to do is get the ball out of the infield. They're bringing the infield in. You've got to look for something you can get out of the infield, up in the air. You change your whole approach mentally of what needs to be done here.
Scored a wild pitch, allowing Gardner to move to third. The infield is in.
Coney, there's a little different sound down there now than there was earlier in the day, huh?
Yes.
During RBP. I mean, that ball was just hammered, but that's like a cut fastball or a slider right down and in.
.97 miles an hour. He's throwing so hard that Cano's having a hard time getting out of the way.
You can tell it's not comfortable. When guys are throwing in and they're throwing that hard, you're not going to sit there and
take a kneecap off, right?
Wait around to see if it's going to be close or if it's not going to be close. Getting the heck out of the way.
Coming in on Cano.
I said these are just tough at bats with that base open. It gives the pitcher so much, you know, you can just work on the guy and just try to throw perfect pitches. And nobody says a thing if you're walking because, you know, the base is open.
That's going to get a run in. Johnson back on the track at the wall. He makes the play. Tagging is Gardner. He'll score. We're tied at 1.
Well, that just looks like a sacrifice fly, but I tell you what, that's a great at bat. He just pounded him in with fastball, sliders. Molina finally went away. Robbie stayed on it. Did everything you want to do with a guy on third base. Kind of hung it a little bit, but You know, you got a tendency when you're getting pounded in to open up. See how he stays on it just enough. Got in on him a little, but I tell you, great at bat, great job getting Gardner in from third.
And that Yes Mo brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer.
I was looking at something the other day, Paul. You know, in that situation, in the American League this year, just 52% average. Runners on third base, less than 2 outs of success rate.
Yeah, you would think it'd be a lot higher. I mean, it doesn't. When you know everything's going well at the plate, it's not that tough to get a pitch where you can just hit a fly ball. You know,
almost a 50-50 proposition nowadays.
Count 1-0 to Hafner. Hafner waves through it. Top of the 4th inning in Toronto, and the Blue Jays lead the Orioles 9-0. Blue Jays can't lose. They are poised to sweep the Orioles. And Boston and Detroit 3-3, top of the 3rd.
It just goes to show you. I mean, the Orioles are a solid team. They're a good team. They're a young team that's getting better. It's just when you're playing well, it just does not matter who you're playing. You know, you win.
The 2-1. 3-1. After 2 for 13 in this series. Andy Pettitte, one of the Yankees that was sitting in the dugout during the introduction of the old timers. Derek Jeter was out there as well. Robinson Cano. Jason Nix. There's a strike.
Pretty good exchange between Jeter and Rivera during the old timers game, where Mo was getting on Jeter about go out and play, go play in that game, and Mo would shoot back at Jeter. Hey, at least I'm playing now, you know. So good-natured ribbing going back and forth.
I was on the first baseline. Jeter was yelling at me to get Bernie's attention, so I did, thinking he had something important to tell him. All he wanted to do is tell him that he looked like he gained a little weight. I'm like, come on, Cheek, give the guy a break, man. It's old timers day. Told me he's going back to school and finish up. Loves the music, boy. He's into it.
That one is looped into right center field. It's going to dunk in for a base hit. Will Myers gets the ball in, so a 2-out single for Hafner.
Early in this series has been pulling off everything. If he can stay through the ball a little bit longer, which he does there, fight it off, all of a sudden you start to get a little quicker, staying on the ball. You'll start driving some balls out of the park. But good swing by Hafner.
Here's Overbay. Lyle 6 hits in his last 18 at bats. That's a view from the Yankees club in right field. Check that left field. Places? I have not been to the Yankees club. No. Looks like the place to be, though. It's indoors. There's a strike. Home plate umpire is Alan Porter. Overbay has a 6-game hitting streak. And he has stepped up again when he had to, with Mark Teixeira going back on the DL. Grounded, right side, fielded there by Zobrist. And that'll do it. But the Yankees tied the score, 1 run on 2 hits, 1 error, 1 man left. Gino Monahan spent 49 years at the Yankee organization. He's going to spend the next half inning with us. I see a gentleman as nice a man as Gino Monahan. Well, this tall left-hander, 49 years in the Yankee organization, and he joins us now here in the second inning. Gino, what's up?
This is a real thrill and a treat to be up here in your office instead of you down in mine.
You always wanted to be a broadcaster on Yes, so here's your chance. This is a tryout tape, Gino.
Forget it. It's too late.
What, you got stage fright up here, Gino?
No, I don't think I do. I thought I would, but I don't think so. I always thought I could do this, but now that I'm up here and see this in action, I'm better off down here.
Yeah.
Now you with the Yankee organization so long, Gino. How cool is it to be involved in Old Timers Day and see so many of the players that you work with?
It's, you talk about it each year, and this is only my second Old Timers, but it's more than a thrill. It's a huge family reunion is all it is, and getting together with these guys for a couple days, a few evenings, and spending some yarns means the world to everybody, and everybody just feeds off each other, and it's just a wonderful thing they do here.
Now, you were a trainer for 7 of the Yankees' 27 World Championships. Do you have a favorite, as that one is tapped in front of the plate, and it's a foul ball? Do you have a favorite of the 7?
Not really. We had some great teams. It was teams in the 90s. We had that big run. It was a lot of fun. It was neat under Mr. Torrey. Obviously, the first one is memorable. 77, Reggie hit the 3 homers, and we celebrated for real for the first time. But I have to say it was the last one, the 09. That's the one you remember most. And, of course, I'll never forget any of them. But the players were always great, and the organization always fed us wonderful people, and we had a great run.
2-2 count on Will Myers here in the top of the second inning. Nova deals, swing and a miss. Good pitch by Nova. Now this is Gino getting his ring in 2010 after the 09 championship. Big hug from Joe Girardi, and coming back from medical issues, and obviously very emotional as well, and a huge ovation from the crowd. That must have been a special day, Gene.
It certainly was a huge surprise. I'd gotten a letter to throw out the first ball from Mr. Steinbrenner, Hal Steinbrenner, and one thing led to another, and here we go. Actually, I think that was another year. But we went out to the first base area there, and turned around, and nobody else was coming out, and there's Jorge clapping, and I thought, uh-oh, what are they doing to me here? So it was quite emotional, a little bit embarrassing, but I felt the love from every fan in the ballpark.
There's Kelly Johnson with a 1-1 count. That one's fouled away. Now, is it true? You hear rumors, Gino, so I'll ask you straight out. That O'Neill was the one player that annoyed you the most.
Worst patient of all time?
Well,
come on, Gino, sugarcoat it now. I'm sitting right here.
I'm going to give you my best shot, but that's a surprise question. He was one of the hardest-nosed warriors. I'll preface with that.
Keep it coming, Gino. That's good stuff there.
On a scale of 1 to 10, the pain threshold was 0.6.
0.6.
0.6?
Way down there.
Wow, so he's in the room a lot.
Those foul balls off the ankles really were devastating.
I tell you, I learned as my career got older, if you were hurt, don't go in Gino's office.
Why?
Because the next thing he would be talking to Joe Torre, and the next thing you were getting the night off. So I'd walk in, Gino would say, how you feel? Great. Absolutely perfect. And then wait till he leaves, and Stevie would help you out with stuff.
There you go.
Now, how was Coney's pain threshold?
Coney was a 9.
A 9?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember the night in Kansas City, he dislocated his shoulder.
Right.
And we're walking upstairs to try to get this thing back in for him. We got the doctor coming over, and he's on the table, and he wouldn't let me touch him. He said, just stay away from me. I love you dearly, but just stay away from me. Just don't hold me down. Don't do anything. So we got him a little bit calmed down. We got him straightened out. And quick healer. Came back fast.
Who was the 10 that you worked on?
Let's see. Who was the 10 that I worked on? I mean, 10s are hard. It's like the ladies. There aren't too many 10s out there.
Even if you add them all together, the whole locker room, huh?
What are you doing now, Gino? What are you up to now?
Well, I call myself retired, but it's more semi. I got recruited down in North Carolina where I live. I went down there because of the climate and the folks and the way of life, and I wanted to get a house that I could afford and work on. And it's a beautiful place to live, and it's racing territory. It's NASCAR, and Mr. Hendrick with Hendrick Motorsports, they recruited me, and I'm working with the pit crew guys, keeping them healthy.
Very cool.
It's very good. It gets me out of the house 3 days a week, and it's enjoyable. They're great young athletes, very appreciative.
Do you still follow your Yankees?
Certainly do. When they're on the coast, I've got the phone right in the bed with me, and I text in every hour, so I wake myself up. It was fun the other night with that 18-inning game.
Oh, that was good.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I saw every one of those, Mike.
Molina with a fly ball to right field. Ichiro backpedals, turns, and will have the plate on a hop off the wall, and Molina gets a single out of that.
But, you retired from the Yankees, and when players retire, everybody asks, what are you going to miss about the game, this and that, and it's always, the competition and the camaraderie. In your sense, it's got to be the camaraderie and just the people that you met over the years.
Yeah, it is. It is. Somebody in the dugout said today, boy, you've had a blessed life, because I had to stop them right there. It's no kidding. Look at all the wonderful friends and family members that they really are, and just hugs and embraces from everybody for the last couple of days. That's probably the biggest thing I miss, and I miss the first pitch of the game. I miss that. I love the ball games. I love the competition. If you didn't, you were in the wrong business. So that worked out well. The passion for the game is what got me here from a little hometown in South Florida, and it all worked out. And I'm just so blessed and appreciative to everybody for all their support.
Escobar hits a deep drive to center. Gardner backing up, makes the play. Gino, it's great to see you. You're the best.
Well, I can tell all the guys, it's great for me to see anybody. I'm very happy to be here.
That's Gino Monahan, one of the all-time greats. We go to the bottom of the second inning. It's 1-1. Yankees, and here's how we started today's conversation. Who have been some of your favorite old-timers to watch through the years, and why? And Ernie Capadino said, my favorite Yankee of all time has to be Yogi Berra. He was an incredible player, and his Yogiisms will be remembered forever. Follow Yes Network and tweet us your responses using hashtag Yankees Prius to keep the conversation going. Yankees Magazine, pretty cool coverage for Old Timers Day. Mo and Yogi, as we go to the bottom of the second. Zoilo Almonte will lead off. Certainly not an old timer. In fact, he's a rookie. Archer threw 24 pitches in the first inning. And he deals to Almonte high.
Which is nothing new. I looked at Archer's in the past couple of games. Fourth inning, 103 pitches. Fourth inning, 105 pitches. Guy that just does not have control of the strike zone with unbelievable stuff. It just can't hone it in yet.
The things you learn on a broadcast, every broadcast you want to learn something. And we learn from Gino Monahan that David Cohn's pain threshold on a 1 to 10 scale is a 9. And we incredibly learned that yours was a 0.6.
It's terrible. Just because I like to scream and yell at him, that's all.
That was payback.
Dogged me.
He made you. He's been waiting for that opportunity to get you back.
Terrible.
Grounded to first. Loney is there, and he beats Almonte to the bag for the first out.
We were in Milwaukee one time, and I had fouled a ball off my shin. And Mr. Steinbrenner found out and said he wanted me to wear a shin guard. Well, the first time up, I had the shin guard on, and I didn't get a hit. So, that had to be the answer. So you start thinking a little crazy. And so the next time up, I didn't get a hit. Well, Mr. Steinbrenner called Gino. Well, Gino comes by me. He's like, you got to wear that shin guard. I said, Gino, I'm not wearing the shin guard. I'm not wearing it, all right? And he's like, you got to wear it or I'm going to lose my job. I said, oh, all right, Gino, I'll wear the shin guard then. So I got a hit. So we were all right.
There's a strike.
So then I wore it for about 6 years in a row.
Yeah, you had it on for a while.
But that's Stevie's forte there. He used to do that for me in spring training every year. String up the glove, take the padding out.
Why'd you take the padding?
In the heel of the glove, there's padding. And, they put that padding there so it doesn't...
Mixes out.
It doesn't sting your hand, but it also kind of pops the ball out of your glove. So I'd much rather have my hand, hurting a little bit than make an error. So he would just take the padding right in Snoopy's glove right here. You take the padding out of Snoopy's glove, and it just gives you a little deeper pocket. You don't miss as much.
I'm learning a lot today.
See that?
Pancake style, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
There's David Adams. Adams has won for his last 10.
Well, I say this about Gene Monahan. A lot of people want to know all the old George Steinbrenner stories. Who doesn't want to know George Steinbrenner stories? He's got more of them than anyone. He was here in the 70s. He saw the 70s version and he saw the 90s version. And they were two different versions, really.
Right. There was one thing that never stopped, though, was his will to win. He wanted to win. He didn't take care. He didn't want any excuses. He put the best team out there with a vision of winning.
David Adams with a slow ground ball to short. Escobar fields and gets Adams for the final out of a 1-2-3 inning. We're going to the third. It's a 1-1 game here on Yes. game. Ivan Nova, first 49 starts of his big league career, 26-6 with an ERA under 4. His last 17 starts, 4-7 with an ERA over 6. So obviously he is looking to turn it around as he goes into the third inning, tied at 1. On the Lincoln scoreboard, 1-3-1 and 1-2-0. Matt Joyce takes a pitch from Ivan, and the count 1-0. He led off the first inning with a single and came around to score. Well, we have 2/3 of the Yankees championship outfield of the 90s here in the booth as Bernie Williams joins us. Bernie, how you doing?
I am doing great. A little sore.
Really?
Already?
More than a little. I'm going to feel this one tomorrow morning.
Check swing, and Cano fields and fires to get him.
All right.
Nice play.
So you're still rooting for the Yankees. You getting fired up when they make a play in the field?
Absolutely.
Now, Bernie, we noticed during your at-bats that you batted right-handed against right-handed pitchers. What's up with that?
Yeah.
One of the great switch hitters of all time.
As I've gotten older, I think, I feel a little bit more comfortable with my natural side, which is the right side. And my main object was to get out of the game in one piece, and I barely made it out. So I'm happy about that.
How much fun is this for you this day?
It's great. It's a lot of fun. No question. Hanging out with O'Neill out there in right field. Him rolling balls out to me.
I got the bad wing.
I feel I have the better arm. At least once I can say.
Now, is it true, Bernie, that O'Neill used to say you get everything you could get when you guys played together?
Yeah, and then I used to tell him, you throw everything out there. As soon as I catch it, I'll pass it to you.
It's like hotcake out there. If it needed to be thrown, he'd throw it to me. If there were days that you just tell the guy next to you, hey, I need a little help from you. We did all right out there, Bernie. Right?
It was good.
Better than all right.
Bernie, how would you like hitting in this ballpark?
I would love hitting in this ballpark.
Ball does jump a little bit, right?
Well, that's the view Bernie used to have in the old ballpark. That one is skied out to center field where Bernie used to reside as Gardner puts it away. Let's take a look at your swing during Old Timers Day, Bernie. You can pick it apart.
Well, I am lucky that I hit that ball. My eyes are, there you can see there's a look out there in the dugout.
I didn't see that at that. What'd you do?
I think I hit a line drive right over Homie Bush.
Homie Bush, yeah.
Homie Bush, yeah. It was good. I was asking for the ball there. They didn't give it to me.
Bernie, what are you doing these days?
I'm actually involved in music. I am trying to sort of carve my way into the music scene in New York. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go back to school and finish my degree. It's going to be in jazz studies, and hopefully in about 2 years this is one thing that I definitely putting a lot of effort into it, and New York is just a great city for it.
What school, can we ask you?
Of course, I think it's starting next fall. I'm going to be a junior at the Manhattan School of Music.
So you're going to carry your books across campus, the whole deal?
Yeah.
Michael, maybe I'll go back to school.
Oh,
you help me out
Go back
a
to
bit?
school, man. You should.
You two should go together. There's a ground ball at first as Zobrist grounds out to Oberbay. Bernie, it's great to see you. It really is.
It's awesome being here. Thank you guys for having me over.
All right, that's Bernie Williams. Paul Simon once told me very few people in the world are great at one thing. Bernie Williams is great at two things. High compliment. Yes Network Yankee games on your PCs or laptops with Verizon Fios. Get a full season of live Yankee games on the go for just $29.99. If you're a Verizon Fios TV customer with Fios Internet, go to yesnetwork.com to get more information and subscribe now. Here's Chris Stewart. And there's a strike. Paul, I will go out on a limb. First, I'll give you the Lincoln scoreboard 1-1. I will pay for your tuition to go to college. Wearing a little propeller beanie, walking across campus. I will pay your tuition.
Got it all working. Huh? I've forgotten so much stuff. You know, you'd have to almost start back at like 9th grade. Huh? Have you ever tried? No, because your kids are too small. But I mean, it's just like even the homework now. It's over your head. You just forgot everything.
They're a little tougher too. They push them hard nowadays too.
Don't tell my kids that. I just tell them that I forgot it all. Not that it's any tougher.
Ground ball is short. Escobar gets Stewart for the first out.
They get some tutoring sessions.
Yeah, whatever you need. I'm footing the whole bill.
Might just do it in case.
I think you just bypass that part and go for the honorary degree.
That's right.
Make a donation somewhere.
It's much easier.
Just buy it.
What a view. Look at that. You don't get that anywhere else, Michael.
No, there's just one New York.
Where the heck are they?
There's a little rooftop deck. I believe it's the right field side.
It's a nice spot. So you got the skyline in the background.
And there's a strike.
You can see when he pounds the strike zone, Tony, Archer has got great stuff. And he's got the kind of stuff where he doesn't really need to nip. And, you know, that's what I think that they need. He needs to realize it. You know, he needs to pound the strike zone and put these hitters in counts where, you know, you'll go out of that zone.
Yeah, to get into attack mode a little earlier, you know, and maybe save that slider.
High fly ball, right center. Myers on the run, on the track. He can't get there, and it bounces into the Yankee bullpen for a double.
Rick Gardner's been on a hot streak. Drove this ball to right center and actually got caught kind of a bad break because it bounced out of here because, you know, he can jog into third base with his speed. Ball up in the zone. Kind of hit it off the bat at the end of the bat a little bit, but he drove it out.
David, have you noticed the balls there are really jumping?
They are, and you can see up top the flags are kind of breezy right now, and the ball is definitely carrying. We noticed that both the left field and right field. Even in the old timers BP, the ball was carrying.
All right, runner on second now with one out, and here's Ichiro. We're in the bottom of the third, 1-1 game. One and 0. One and 1. Ichiro with 2,606 hits in the major leagues. And he's closing in on 4,000 overall between the majors and the Japanese league. One and 2. Runners in scoring position and less than 2 outs. Ichiro does well. 11 hits and 24 opportunities.
This is another reason why Ichiro batting second helps. Even with Gardner on second, you know, the shortstop's got a pinch. They got to keep Gardner close to keep him from stealing, and opens up some holes on the left side too.
And Ichiro foul tips it into the glove of Molina. He goes down on strikes. 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
You come into the game with big hopes for a big game, and you pop a bunt up and then you strike out. You're in the third inning. You're 0 for 2. Things got to get better, right? Goes laying that bat down. You have a much better relationship with that bat than most players when they strike out.
After a great at-bat by Cano in the first inning, Archer wants no part of him here. They're going to intentionally walk him and take their chance with Hafner.
Robbie's at a point now where he's going to see this, and he's just going to have to accept it, that he's not going to have a lot of pitches to hit in big situations until a few guys get hot behind him and prove. They were walking in years back. They would walk A-Rod and guys like that to get to Robbie, and now the tide has turned.
So an intentional walk for Cano. Just got a text message from John Flaherty, 5 innings behind the plate. He said, just tell the guys the beverages are really cold. I hope they're enjoying the broadcast.
Must have been no traffic at Flash's home already.
No. He's in one of the suites.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, kick your feet up, Flash. Have a great day.
Yeah. Here's Travis Hafner. Two outs, first and second. 1-0. Good numbers with runners in scoring position. A lot of that happened early as his overall average has fallen. He's at 220 now, but 293 with runners in scoring position, which he has right here. With a runner on second, they can't put 3 infielders on the right side, so it gives them a couple more holes for which to shoot. Let's check out today's Coors Light freeze cam. And he's frozen there.
Flash, move.
Yeah, he was a gamer today with five innings. He said he had not put on catcher's gear since the day he walked off the field.
Well, I know one thing. He was chirping and talking and everything else because I had one of those things in my ear. He never talked when you played. Walked to the plate, tried to talk to him, get on his good side. Nope.
Nothing.
Didn't want anything to do with that.
It's like he's in the booth. There's a fly ball to center, and Hafner ends the inning. Coming up in about 2 minutes, we're going to talk to one of the greatest second basemen in Yankee history, Willie Randolph. Willie as a player, 2 championships with the Yankees, countless others as a coach. Gets a nice hand from the crowd as he always does. And he joins us here in the booth. Willie, what's up?
Everything's good, man. I'm a little exhausted right now, but
everybody walks up here and says how tired they are.
It's true. But I have an excuse though, Paulie. I did throw BP today for a half hour.
Good BP.
And I thought maybe I could, get the guys going and everything. When the game started, I was spent. I was done. I forget about it. I'll never do that again.
Now, I remember one time, one at bat, you see the Benjamin Moore scoreboard is 1-1 as we go to the top of the fourth. I think you got jammed. You said, ouch. You could hear it all the way up there.
Yes. I think Kamenicki threw me a little sinker, a little late running sinker at the end there. I thought I had it. I was ready to swing at it. All of a sudden, I got to the ball. There was nothing left. Yeah, I got a nice little bone bruise, but I'll be all right.
How cool is it to come back and see your old teammates and guys that you coach, too?
Oh, it's always special, guys. It's always a great day. The guys look great. We get a chance to needle each other a little bit like old times and have a good time. Just kind of, and that's what you miss more than the camaraderie, man. Just being able to sit in the clubhouse and get on each other's case. And then see the kids and the wives. So it's always a special day, and I'll always look forward to it.
Here's the 2-2. Strike three. Longoria down looking. And here's Willie throwing BP, and he...
Come on, Willie. There you go.
Right there. Cookie right there. Look at it. He's looking at it. Look at it. Oh. Hey, I'm pissed. Look at me there. Why you going? Why you
shut you up?
Hey, I'm telling you. I threw it right there.
Shaking your head there, Will.
Threw
a little sink of it.
Wow. Threw my meatball, and he just fouled on me, man. That ain't right.
How about O'Neill almost going yard in the game?
Yes, well, he's in great shape, and he got that quick bat, so I'm not surprised. And that short porch is still getting shorter, so.
Loney ground.
Especially when it's hot.
I'll tell you one thing. You do walk out on the field, and the thing that really amazes you is when you're out here. You just look around that outfield and think, if I had to go catch a fly, I got no chance.
No chance.
It just looks like that outfield is huge now.
So spacious, man. It does look weird out there, man. But
Willie, you came out for a cutoff, and I kind of rolled one into you. I forgot to tell you, got a bad wing, man.
Almost got him. Duque gave it a nice pick at second base. Almost got him.
Now, this is either of you three guys. In your mind, are you still the 25-year-old kid, and your mind is telling your body to do stuff, and it just can't do anymore?
Yeah, kind of, sort of. I mean, you can't do it, but you prove it to yourself when you try to do it. I said, well, I can do this, man. Last night, guys, all I was praying for is not pulling the muscle. I was saying, God, please, let me get through the game, okay? I just want to pull up,
So wow.
Look at that.
Oh, boy.
I had hair. Look at the hair. I had a little throw, man. Wow, look at Donnie. Pick it, Donnie. And they show my little power every once in a while,
nice.
In Minnesota, of course, a little bandbox. Look at the gun. Look at the guns.
What's up with that?
Look at that. No,
I see you were shy in the bullpen or in the dugout after you went deep. Huh?
Yeah, they call them baby pipes, We had a lot of fun, man. We did.
That was a great team that you were on in 77 and 78.
Oh, it was a great group of guys, man. Just a lot of gamers, man. We didn't have the
base hit by Loney.
Yeah, we didn't have the overall talent a lot of teams had, but we had a lot of heart and guts, and the guys played the game right fundamentally. And everyone just, they did their thing, and a lot of pride. After we lost in 76 to the Big Red Machine, we were licking our wounds going into 77, and we got back there, and then we said, you know what, this is where we belong. So we repeated 77, 78, and they just set the tone for a lot of great years after that.
It's a nice resume there, Willie.
Yeah, not too bad. Proud of being the captain. I mean, that's awesome. I think I got an extra All-Star. I think I had 7 All-Star games, but that's okay. We're not just counting.
Well, let's just do that right here. All over that. It didn't take long to pick that
another world chance.
Don't shortchange me in the All-Star games, okay? I got to have those, man. But yeah, I had a great time. 17 and a half years in the league. I came up as a baby at 21 years old. Playing the game I love. So I've been so blessed and fortunate to have been in the great game of baseball. But for me, it just seemed like it just flew by. Even though I went from a player to a coach, and there was a lot of great years there as a coach. Actually, my coaching career almost overlapped my playing career, which blew me away, Coney. I just never thought I would coach that long. And I got the chance to manage, obviously, and to do it right here in your hometown, to be right here. Who my teacher? Oh, Soriano. That's my man, Sori.
Yeah, you said you taught him, and they sent him out of here.
I know. And he did a pretty good job, too. I mean, we won championships with him. I mean, he wasn't his Gold Glover, but I was real proud of my work with him because he worked hard every day, and I thought he did an adequate job. I really do.
1-1 to Myers. All right, let's start up a little bit. Your 77-78 team could have beat the 98 Yankees.
No.
I asked Willie, Paul.
Well, probably not. I mean, again, I'm real proud of those guys, but you know, the '98 team was just really, really special, man. With the way we, you know, just the way all the guys kind of came together, and we had a lot of great players, but they all checked the ego at the door, and they all played for each other. It's just a special group. I mean, the guys today are much more talented. Just to be straight about it. We had some great guys back then, but the talent that we have from top to bottom in today's game is just phenomenal.
Very nice political answer.
No, I mean, you know, I try to keep it real. I try to keep it real.
All right, now all the years you played, all the years you coached, what's the best player you've ever seen?
Oh, man, that's a tough question, but pound for pound, and I played with some great, great players. Ricky Henderson, to me, pound for pound, was the best player I've ever played with. As far as overall talent, being able to impact the game from different levels, you know, defense, offense, he can just change the complexion of the game by himself. That's why I give him the nod. But when you think about all the great players I've played with over the years, it just, you know, I can just put 1A, 1B on down the line. But Ricky, as the total package, I would say that he probably was the best I played with.
He still look good today.
Oh, he's in great shape genetically. I don't know what he's eating or what he be eating, but he's just, you know, just in great shape. He always is. And he told me that. I said, "Are you working out?" And he goes, "No, he's not." I'm like, so how do you look like this? I mean,
pretty much his whole career. I don't think he was a big weightlifter.
No,
he was just built that way.
He did a lot of push-ups. He ran those hills out in Oakland. But you're right, Paul. He wasn't a big weightlifter at all. But you know, sometimes the good Lord just says, you know, puts his hands on you. He say, you know.
Willie, let's get some analysis out of you. Nova looks like he's taking a step up from when they sent him down.
Yeah, I think Yvonne's starting to come back a little bit. You know, there's a lot of competition in the staff. I think that's good for him. I think, you know, to understand that it's not going to be easy to stay up here. You got to work hard, and I think it's going to be good for him. But I like his slider still. You know, he's still learning a little bit. I think he still kind of gets a little bit inconsistent, but that's a good thing, a good problem to have when you have guys with surplus of pitching like that. And he's young enough that we can make the adjustments. And sometimes it's good to kind of take a little step back a little bit. You know, really see where you are. And I think he's going to take off again. I really do. You know, and everyone in the staff's kind of picking each other up a little bit. There's some young arms in the bullpen, Claiborne and Warren and those guys. Really impressed with those young arms out there. You know, I've always liked Phelps. I mean, he's, you know, he could tell right away he took it. That boy, Robbie. Yeah, good hand. I know, baby.
Like those second basemen, don't you?
Oh, yeah, he's sweet. I love him.
Willie, it's great to see you.
Oh, always good to see you guys. You take care.
Willie Randolph with a big hand when he gets introduced to the crowd. As we go to the bottom of the fourth inning, it's a 1-1 game. Call 1-866-NY-QUIT for free help today. The 1951 Yankees opening day lineup featured 5 future Hall of Famers. Can you name all 5?
Really? I thought this would be an easy one.
I think I can.
I figured you would.
I think I can. I definitely have 4. I'm just thinking of number 5.
I'm still on number 1. How does that make you feel?
Oh, you definitely have 2.
Yeah, I got to figure out the years first. I got to put people's and places' names in the correct years, you know.
Benjamin Moore scoreboard 1-1. It'll be Overbay, Almonte, and Nix against Archer. Count 1-1.
Got to figure out the years that DiMaggio handed the baton to Mickey.
Yeah. It's not like you can, throw Babe in there and Gehrig. I mean, we're in the 50s now. You got to take some of these people out.
That was an amazing time if you think about it. I mean, you got Joe DiMaggio playing center field. Then all of a sudden, the next one, Mickey Mantle comes walking along. You know, you just don't see that.
And then you had Bill Dickey catching. And then Yogi Berra comes along. Not too bad.
So Yogi took it straight from Bill Dickey.
I don't think he took it straight from Bill Dickey.
Similar?
Yeah, they're within striking distance. I'm going to have to look that up for sure. You always ask me these tough questions, O'Neill.
But you love it. Look, you get to study something.
He's got to be accurate. He's a journalist. You and I, we don't let facts get in the way here.
Yeah, it's right. If it's wrong, it's wrong. Just go on.
Just go roll with it.
Let's see.
Well, Monty back in the box. I mean, he's had a couple of just great days. Found out his first time, but boy, you just hope if you're Joe Girardi that it doesn't end quick. That he can have a nice little run, a week, 10 days, where he can really help this team offensively.
You know what? When you're in a situation like this, we've seen it, Paulie. You'd like to see, a young kid come up and get a chance, give him a few at bats, and don't put too much pressure. But there's no time for that. We saw Neal. He got 11 at bats, and that was all you get. And Almonte gets a start the other day, and now all of a sudden you're going to roll with a hot hand right here and see what he can do.
He has a couple good weeks. I'm telling you what, he's your left fielder. That's just the way it is, and you'll work Vernon Wells back in. But a huge hit from Vernon Wells yesterday. Hit off the third base bag. A special ball there, but then this was his 3rd hit in his first start out in the bullpen. Bullet, the middle, big 2 RBIs yesterday.
That one is lofted into left field. It's a base hit. He's going to get himself an extra base hit. A double for Almonte.
That's good to see. I mean, he's pulled a home run, and you just hope that you don't fall in love with that swing and think you're going to hit a bunch of them. It's the type of hitter he looks to be. Is all over the field, pull the breaking ball. This ball breaks away, a kind of backup slider. Just slaps it the other way. Stays behind the ball. Well, it's just confidence right there. A young kid that's getting an opportunity, and he's confident right now. Everybody would want to start their career off this way, but didn't happen that way.
I got the info for you, Paul.
Yeah, let's go.
I was right. So he started in 1929. His last year was 1946. And Yogi, his first year in the big leagues, just 7 games was 1946. And then he played 83 games in 47. So they did kind of take the baton. Now you got one for the trivia question, too.
Yeah, thank you.
So runner at second. Here's Jason Nix. Knicks tap back to the mound in the second inning.
Michael, I've been seeing this for a couple of days. What is this thing?
It's an electrical thing that puts wires together.
Giant earplug over here. What's going on? Action on that ball inside on righties, boy, you get to see Archer. It can stay inside all he wants because he's got enough stuff to get it in on you.
Well, we've seen Knicks do this. He'll foul it right over your dugout. Boy, he'll get you out of there in a hurry.
It's almost like that action Mariano's been working with that two-seam fastball to righties.
They're going to say that Knicks got hit. So first and second for David Adams.
Well, if you're going to get hit, that's the way you want it to happen. Just a little nick across your jersey. Knicks kind of hanging in there and taking one for the team.
These are big at bats, 1-1. Close game. Got guys out on the mound that, are throwing the ball well. So, you got to take advantage of these opportunities. One out here.
Now, Joe Girardi was asked today, why is Adams struggling now and coming out of the big leagues? He looked really good. And Girardi said, they catch on fast. He said now they figured out how to pitch it. He has to make adjustments. He said it's much quicker than it used to be. Every video is available for every pitch and every at bat. He said, so guys, figure it out. There's ground ball to Longoria. There's one. On to first. They double up Adams to get out of problems. No runs are hit, no errors, and because of the DP, nobody left on base. He tops one to the left side, and Longoria starts the 5-4-3 inning-ending double play. We'll go to the fifth, and we're tied at 1.
Keep an eye on the East. The Blue Jays blowing the doors off the O's right now. 13-4 in the bottom of the 7th, looking to win their 11th straight. And then the Red Sox lead the Tigers right now 4-3, top of the 6th. And Michael, as I send this cut-in back to you, I have to say this is absolutely ridiculous. A white linen tablecloth cart comes in with a boatload of food with Paul O'Neill in the booth.
Beautiful.
Has he been checked for a tapeworm? That's what I want to know.
It's amazing.
Why is it always me? It's like Michael and Coney aren't going to help with this or something?
I think you're going to eat most of it. And you have 30 waste. Me and Coney don't. Well, Coney and I.
Actually, David might.
Bob, I have not heard that saying, blowing the doors off it, since 1981. Yeah, well, I'm glad you're bringing it back.
Yeah, I'm kicking it old school, Paul.
It is.
I'm trying to bring back the classics. It's Old-Timers Day.
David and Paul, isn't it great to see Bob out of his cage?
Yeah, absolutely.
Here at the ballpark, it's wonderful. It really is. You look happier when you're out in the air.
It's great to be out here in fresh air.
Fresh air does things. Yeah.
I'm out of the hermetically sealed building. Thanks, guys. I'm going back in. They're calling for me in my cage. See ya.
We will hear from Bob later on and on the postgame show as well with Jack and Meredith. Pitches inside to Molina. You're not going to be able to concentrate during this inning with that food behind you.
That one bone back there looks like something from Fred Flintstone. I mean, look at the thing. Oh, they burn Old Timers Day on it. That's awesome. Yes.
And now you learned over this series that Fred Flintstone really was patterned after Ralph Cramton. Yeah. So much stuff to digest, literally and figuratively. As Molina works a walk. David, he struggled in the first inning, but Nova really looks pretty sharp. His breaking ball is breaking sharply, obviously, and he's spotting the fastball well.
He has, you know, and the thing about Nova is when he gets it going, he can start striking guys out. You saw him strike out really quality hitters, Longoria, and kind of freezing them with that hard curveball he has. So that's the thing with Ivan Nova, is that when he gets it figured out, he can miss bats. He can dominate hitters. But the problem is when he makes his mistakes, he's usually wild in the zone and up, and that's when the extra base hit damage comes. But a good outing so far and good pitch count, 62 so far.
Now, David, we mentioned earlier about David Adams, that the league has kind of figured him out. Now it's up to him. Nova had such a great start. We showed you those numbers earlier. Did the league figure him out, or did he run into a rut?
I think it's more him. I think it's more execution and the quality of the pitches he was throwing in there.
Yeah, there's a big difference in making an adjustment to a hitter. Because hitters, I don't care how good you are, you know, you have weaknesses and strengths. Where a pitcher, you know, if you're throwing mid-90s with sink and a good slider, you've got to be missing target or spots, because you can make an adjustment to a hitter and still not hit that, you know.
Yeah, and that, you know, the proof in the pudding, Michael, is really all the extra base hits, you know, and that's when you're breaking balls up in the zone and they're getting hammered in the gaps, or your fastballs are wild in the zone and they're getting hit hard.
Swing and a miss. Escobar down on strikes.
You know, it's a great at bat and a case in point. I mean, 3 curveballs. The last one perfectly placed. The first one buckled him for a strike, and this one is the way you finish. And I think that's the thing with Nova. You have a curveball you can throw for a strike, and here's the one you're going to finish off with. And if he chases it, great. If he doesn't, then you come back and you make another pitch. That's how I judge it, back and forth. Can you get your breaking ball over for a strike, and can you just miss with it when you need to?
Matt Joyce takes inside. Yankees play him to pull. Nix is on the second base side of the bag. The 2-0. 2-1.
He's getting a good feel for that curveball. You see, he's going more curveballs today. Anytime you see that sort of 12-6 style break, or even in the lower 80s in terms of velocity, that's more of his curveball. And that's what he first came up with, was that curveball.
I'll tell you what, last year when he was going through his struggles, he got beat a lot on sliders. And to me, as good as his curveball is, and as good as his sinker and his fastball, you know, he doesn't need to have a slider. You know, he can use his fastball in and out and that good curveball, maybe waste a slider down in the dirt or something, but he missed with it, and that was the pitch that he was getting hit up hard on.
Yeah, I had that in my career. You know, I threw a curve and a slider, and when if I get caught in between, then both of them would end up hanging a lot of times.
Swung on and missed on the breaking ball. 2 away. Let's take a look at the answer to the New York State Smokers Quit Line quiz. 51 Yankees opening day lineup featured 5 future Hall of Famers. Can name all 5. So Yogi, Mickey, DiMaggio, Scooter, and I can't get the 5th.
I've got those 3.
Johnny Mize. Johnny Mize. And I believe that 1951 starting lineup was the first one ever announced by Bob Shepard. Grounded foul outside of third. And I think they played the Boston Red Sox that day.
Still hear Bob Shepard's voice.
Yeah.
To this day.
It's. I mean, yeah, you can hear a tape of something, and there's no doubt who it is.
Jeter was the smart one. He went to Bob. He had Bob Shepard record his announcement of his name, and still plays it to this day.
That curveball again. You're right, Coney. I mean, he's really relying on that, not just to get up, but to throw strikes.
There's the lineup. And Jerry Coleman's in the Hall of Fame too, but as a broadcaster, and he was here today. 0-1-2. Punched through the right side for base hit. Wide open spot, right side of the infield as they had him played to pull, so Jennings picks up a single, and now that brings up the dangerous Zobrist.
I'll tell you one thing, good pitch, good curveball, just he fooled him. And he just kind of gives a half swing, but he just hits it in the right spot. Once in a while, as a hitter, you take a great swing, you hit a line drive right at somebody. That's not the case. Kind of fooled and just put the ball in play, and it just finds a hole.
Yeah, that's when it's a good athlete. A guy who can adjust, get fooled, and adjust, and still have the hands to kind of just put it in play, as you said.
The view from left field, place looks great. Taking a picture of us, taking a picture of her. There's a strike.
Did you see my tweet, Michael? I told you about it.
I did not see it. I did not check Twitter yet.
Stood out in right field right before the first pitch. Took a picture of the view.
And you sent it out.
Sent it out.
No help from your kids. You did that all yourself.
I'd have had a little help. But I got it done. How's that?
That's cool. Lofted to left field and out of play. Nice catch by kid who brought his glove.
Ben Zobrist has had a good series. Right-handed early in the series off Pettit. From the left side, too.
This will be the 20th pitch of the inning for Nova. He's at 76 right now. Molina at second. Jennings at first. The base hit does not necessarily score Molina. And we'll never know. He strikes out the side. No runs a hit and 2 men left. Nova has looked sharp. We're halfway through. Game is tied at 1. Tuesday, June 25th, when the Yankees take on the Rangers, it's cap night. First 18,000 guests in attendance will receive a Yankees cap courtesy of Cannon. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com, visit the stadium ticket window, Yankees clubhouse shops, or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. All right, Sunday afternoon in New York City. Cotton candy in the house. 1-1 game in the house as we go to the bottom of the fifth. The wind is blowing here at Yankee Stadium. It's actually blowing from right to left. Everybody just chilling. Feet up on the dugout. Let's roll to the bottom of the fifth inning as Chris Stewart leads off against Chris Archer. 1-0. High fly ball, left field, backing up Johnson, still back, on the track, he'll make the play for the first out. All right, let's check out the injury report brought to you by Montefiore Medical Center, Inspired Medicine. Clay Buchholz is not going to return from the DL on Tuesday. He is dealing with the trapezius problem that Andy Pettit had. Mike Moore's 15-day DL with a strained quad, and Lucas Duda finally getting a chance to play first base with the demotion of Ike Davis. He goes on the 15-day DL with an intercostal strain. Those are big, intercostals and obliques.
That? Oh, that's in the ribs?
Or it's also the waterway in Fort Lauderdale. Oh, that's the intercostal.
Close.
You got a couple of spring trainings in Lauderdale before the Yankees moved to Tampa.
Yeah, I love Fort Lauderdale. Great times. It's right when I came over. That's when my memories of Fort Lauderdale was walking into that ballpark and still seeing Mickey Mantle in uniform and Whitey Ford and stuff like that. I mean, that's neat stuff.
Yeah, that was it. I played Florida State League. You know, that was the best stop in the Florida State League in the minor leagues. Just go to Lauderdale and play in that stadium.
Coney, tell me the truth now. Why'd you really want to go to Lauderdale?
Well, that strip's fun to walk on too. I'll tell you that. For a young kid.
Just checking.
Stimulation, galore.
Some cities are just fun to go to, Coney. A lot of the times they don't put minor league teams in them for that reason.
You wonder, the Met minor league team is in Las Vegas.
Yeah,
a lot of things can go wrong there. Well, right.
Might have a direct deposit on the checks for those young fellas, huh?
One game, bottom of the fifth, fourth game of this four-game set. Yankees have won 2 of the first 3.
I'll tell you one thing about this young kid Archer out there. He's not afraid to pitch in. I mean, he's come close to kneecapping about 3 guys. You talk about make you move your feet. And all those lefties inside, he's made them move their feet.
Well, it's a fastball by Brett Gardner for the second out.
It's not just velocity, too, because you've seen the movement in, and that ball right there in the strike zone up, it's got life, and it kind of just takes off at the end. Well, we had the moon a couple nights ago, Michael. Now we're going to throw the sun at you.
We had the big moon last night.
Yeah, that was a big deal.
Super moon.
Super moon. Pull that one out of your astrology class. What's a super moon?
It's the biggest moon of the year. It appears, I guess it's closer to the Earth than at any time during the year.
I mean, it doesn't come back till like next September or something.
Kind of like that movie with Jim Carrey. Remember when he threw a rope around the moon and pulled it closer? Yeah, Bruce Almighty and Jennifer Aniston.
Did you go to the movie last night, Michael?
You know what? I didn't, and I felt guilty because I had told you that I was. And Jody said, so tell me you didn't see Superman. You saw Supermoon. Wow. Yeah, we fizzled out. Bad. I know you were out in Frank and Mary, and we just...
Oh, we had an unbelievable time. It was Frank Jr.'s like wedding reception, so it was a party.
Right.
I played my first game of bocce ball.
How'd you do?
And won. Beat Frank.
Really?
Yeah.
It wasn't Frank's first game.
But believe me, I was probably the only Irish fella there. Won my first bocce ball game, though. We had a great time, great people.
Archer bobbles, fires, and not in time. You can't mishandle the ball with Ichiro running. He'll pick up a hit.
We've seen a lot in this series. Just the pressure that he puts on the defense. And as soon as you bobble it, that's what happens. Safe at first. And this is a time where Robbie Cano can come to the plate and know, all right, now I'm going to get something to hit.
Also, it does tell you right here, Ichiro shouldn't run, because then the bat will be taken out of Cano's hands. They already proved that in the third inning with a runner on second and 2 outs. They walk Cano to pitch to Hafner. So if you want Cano to swing, Ichiro has to stay put.
Especially early in the count. Give him a couple swings. Obviously, when you get to 2 strikes, then, you know, all bets are off and you can run.
He keeps coming in on Cano.
You saw Cano's approach to that pitch. He wasn't swinging at that pitch. He was going to take a look at it, and he's done that a lot in this series. I think he's finally figuring out that, hey, they're not going to give me a ton to hit. I'm not going to get anxious and swing at something early in the count.
Adding in walks and sac flies, Cano has 1 at bat in his last 7 plate appearances.
Robbie doesn't like this call. I guess he thinks it's low because it's got plenty of plate. You see how Molina just grabs it real quickly? Everybody talks about Molina's framing ability. And the hands are so soft. He caught that just not holding it, not a lot of movement in the glove. Just kind of caught it and held it there and then right up. And got to believe that Jose Molina gets more balls called strikes than just about anybody. Big part of the 2009 Yankees championship team here. We mentioned it the other night about his work with A.J. Burnett during that World Series. Really underrated. Jose Molina really got A.J. Burnett through that postseason, especially against Philly in those World Series games.
Back in again. I mean, Molina knows that you just cannot go away. Let Robbie get his hands extended. He went in that whole at bat. He went 1 pitch away when Robbie got that sac fly earlier in the game.
There's no doubt that Joe Madden, when he thought of his rotation in this series at Yankee Stadium, that he wanted to pair up Molina and the young Archer. No better guy. You got a young pitching staff or some young starters that are phenoms. That's the kind of catcher you want working with them. Not only calling the game, but handling the pitches.
Runner goes, check swing, and a stolen base for Ichiro. So, Paul, they did what you said. Let him take a couple of hacks, so now it's 2-2. I'm doubtful they'll walk him. Well, let's see if they do.
Well, again, it comes and you see Ichiro with 2 strikes. He gets a good break, good pitch to run on. Molina has no chance, but now this gets back to that tough at bat I talked to earlier. You see Robbie get out there a little too quick, almost went. But now with that base open, you really have to battle because you know he's going to try to make perfect pitches.
Two. Strike 3 right down the middle, 96 miles an hour. Cano down looking. We go to the 6th inning. We got some big-time hitters coming up. Edwin Longoria has 3 home runs in this series. And then one of the young stars of the game, Will Myers, will be up as well. Stick around. We go to the 6th. Baseball on Yes is brought to you by the Tent is Back sales event at your Hyundai dealer now through July 1st. And by Benjamin Moore for everything that matters. Some of the Yankee greats coming out during introductions, during the Old Timers Day ceremonies. Ricky Henderson getting a big hand. Evan Longoria wraps one to left field deep, but right there is Almonte. Kind of a sinking line drive, and he makes the play.
Sometimes you hit these balls so square that they almost knuckle, and they drop. A couple greats. Reggie on the left, Big Babe on the right.
You guys ever have a Reggie bar?
I did.
Outstanding.
Fried dough. You ever had any fried dough?
Outstanding.
It's called Zeppelins?
Zeppelins, yeah.
See, I'm not the only one. Every one of those pictures, it was all about food. It wasn't just about baseball.
That's true. By the way, we have to thank NYY Steak, who brought up some great food for us. And that's a great restaurant here at Yankee Stadium. Great steakhouse. Loney is 1 for 2 today. And Loney, a .352 hitter on the road. That leads the American League.
Doesn't surprise me. That means he doesn't hit well at home. There's another hit right there. But I tell you what, hitting in Tampa Bay in that dome takes a lot getting used to. You just do not pick. It's kind of dim. And you don't pick up the seams of the baseball very well.
Why don't we take a look at the Jeep hitter scouting report on Will Myers?
Well, he had a grand entry in Yankee Stadium. At 22 years old, became the youngest player ever to hit a grand slam here yesterday. And solid production. I mean, at the time of his promotion in June, he was leading AAA, 57 RBIs, hit .314, having a great year. Tough choices. I mean, there was a tough choice to make. They had to trade a couple tremendous pitchers, James Shields being one of them, to acquire Myers, but time will tell if it was good or bad.
Myers grounds one up the middle, base hit. That extends his hitting streak to 6 straight. Loney will chug into third. A belly flop into third with no throw.
Again, we talked about Myers and how you just hear that sound. He hits the ball hard, finds a hole. Loney, it seems like he kind of just lost his balance, and I agree with you. It's not good. Really gets the bat from here to there. Really quick. Just a quick hand swing right there, but he gets the bat head out in front. Kind of like a guy who's fast that can, make up ground on a fly ball because of his speed. I mean, his hands are so quick that he can really make up a lot at the end by getting that bat head out in front of the plate.
It was Kelly Johnson. The Yankees would love the double play here. 1-1 game, top of the 6th inning.
Again, you look at some of what happened last year with Nova, and these were the outs that he couldn't get. It's just like he'd be cruising along and he'd get in a jam, and he couldn't get the big out. To win games and to be a great pitcher, you've got to get the big outs.
The 2-0. 3-0. Now, David has always taught me this. Just because first base isn't open, there is a base open. And you have Jose Molina, who's a double play waiting to happen on deck.
Yeah, it was evidenced by that 2-0 changeup right there. One of the few changeups we've seen from Nova today. So Chris Stewart obviously leading the charge, not giving in.
Turn him loose on 3-0. Got a fastball by on 3-1.
The thing about Nova is that when he first came up, Everybody talked about his sinking fastball. Well, he didn't really throw a two-seamer. He kind of throws a four-seamer, and it's kind of naturally happens for him, like that last pitch right there. The question is consistency with it.
Just missed outside, so Johnson walks to load the bases. Well, swing for the fences with the new Home Run Derby mobile game from MLB.com. Features include all 24 Home Run Derby competitors from 2010 to 2012, an arcade mode that brings high-impact thrills, and a derby mode that recreates the Home Run Derby tournament. Available on iPhone and iPad. Download MLB.com's Home Run Derby game for free today. No one warming yet, but there's some stirring in the Yankee bullpen, some movement. Bases loaded. And Jose Molina at the plate. Molina has singled off the wall and right and walked. Good breaking ball strike.
Good call right there. Molina, dead red fastball hitter, first pitch. He's a guess hitter. You know, Jose Molina never really been known for his hitting, but he's got a pretty decent year there, as you see, just below 270 on his average, and a lot of that comes early in the count.
One and one.
So in other words, Paulie, with Nova, you've got a guy who throws a cross-seam sinker. As you see the bullpen double barrel with Kelly and Logan. So it's kind of a natural fingertip pressure thing that he gets, and it's, you know, sometimes it sinks, sometimes it runs, sometimes it's straight. It's not like a two-seamer that you know what it's going to do.
This could be the double play they want. There's one. Cano really takes his time to complete the double play. So Nova works out of trouble. No runs, 2 hits, and 2 men left. Molina simply does not have speed, so you see Cano takes a toss, a couple of steps, steadies himself, and still has time. The Yankees, and then Texas comes to town. 2 night games against the Rangers, then a 1:05 start on Thursday. Then the Yankees will head on the road, and the first 3 will be against the Orioles at Camden Yards. And boy, times have changed. We're gone back to the old days. Saturdays on Fox and Sundays on ESPN. So Yankee Orioles now is a national broadcast. But we'll have the game on Friday on My 9.
Well, the Orioles deserve it. I mean, they played well last year. They've continued this year. What a story. I mean, Chris Davis, and of course,
wow, he's doing something.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good stories on the Orioles across the board.
All right, so now the Yankees need to give Nova a lead. He's pitched very well for 6 innings, gave up a run in the first and 0 since. And same thing with Archer, gave up a run in the first and 0 since. As Hafner fouls it back. Interesting conundrum for the Yankees, and you know, they say it's a good problem. I don't know if any problem's good, but if Nova pitches the 7th inning and continues to pitch well, do you send him down? And if you don't, how do you make room from the rotation? Who doesn't start? Girardi would not commit to anything of the sort before the game. He said, we'll see what we're going to do. But I'm sure they know what they're going to do.
Well, choices are nice problems to have, as opposed to, trying to find somebody.
When you start getting those future starts to TBAs to be announced, you know that things aren't good in the pitching staff. So
that's one thing the Yankees have is depth now. With Pineda on his rehab assignment, the kid they got in the trade with Seattle for Jesus Montero is coming back soon, and so they've got bodies. They've also got a lot of arms in that bullpen. So the overall depth of the Yankees pitching staff, very, very good shape right now.
I was talking to Girardi about having to make decisions like that, and he said, what's funny is every time you sit and you kind of brainstorm, how am I going to do this? These guys get me. He said, every time I've done it this year, it has worked out on its own. Somebody got hurt. He said, so you worry about things you never have to worry about.
It's a good strategy. A lot of times managers just, if you wait, then sometimes the questions answer themselves. The thing about Archer that's so impressive, I mean, he doesn't have the same body type as, say, Ivan Nova, kind of lean and long out there, but it doesn't look like it's taken him a lot of effort to throw the ball 97 miles an hour. The ball jumps out of his hand.
Hafner, Overbay, and Almonte here in the 6th. The 3-2 to Hafner. Tap to the shortstop. That's really Longoria. He moves over to the right side, so you have to score that a 5-3.
Just going to say that's a big pitch. That 1-1 game. You're leading off the 6th, 3-2 count. He went to the slider. It just shows what Molina is doing. He's not going to just give you that fastball right there to give you the 2-1 lead. So you got to have a lot of trust in a catcher that knows what he's doing back there. Probably won't see too many shakeoffs today, huh, Coach?
Yeah, I've been looking for him. I really haven't seen any as of yet, and there might have been a couple where Archer has, but you can see right there. Okay, let's go.
Took a little off there to 93, huh, Coney?
Two-seamer. But you can tell that Archer, he's a pitcher. He wants to be a pitcher. He's just not out there, trying to be a flamethrower. He likes his slider. Molina's confident in calling it.
So Molina doesn't like it. Last 2 pitches up in the zone. And, you start pushing the ball or you start getting a little tired. Kind of leading with your shoulder. That arm kind of stays back and you start launching them high in the zone. And in a 1-1 game, you can't wait for a pitcher to find his mechanics. One pitch can lose the game.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. So Overbay grounds out to second for the 2nd out of the 6th.
Started out the first couple innings like it was just going to be, you're going to sit back and watch pitchers struggle, throwing a lot of pitches, but both guys have gotten big outs when they needed them and starting to pitch ahead now. Biggest out looking back, that Molina double play. Boy, that's huge with bases loaded.
Here's Zoilo Almonte, and he drives one to left field. Johnson back, still back, and it's over his head and up against the wall. Almonte continues to rake. That's his 2nd double of the afternoon.
Not catch a ball that he hits right now. That's just a great feeling as a hitter. You should know you're going to have good at bats. You know when you hit it, it's going to fall. tell you what he's done. He stays on the ball, doesn't come off of it, shoots the ball the other way. Johnson a little late getting a break and just gets over his head. Again, tough left field today. Always been the tougher of the position out there.
Yeah, Almonte kind of moves pretty well too. I mean, I don't think we've really tested his speed, but looks like he's, you know, not too bad. You know, he's got some wheels to work with.
Like he plays a good outfield. He's got good jumps on the ball. He's already made a good throw to the plate this series. So, you know, you're kind of filling up all the columns, the things that he can do on the field, and you don't see any glaring weakness at this point.
I asked Joe what he saw from him this spring, and he said, I think he kind of messed himself up. He said because when Granderson got hurt, he said to himself, I can make this team. And then he pressed. He said, and his production really went down. He said, now he seems very calm, not trying to do too much. Nix with a fly ball to center. Jennings hardly had to move, and that will do it. No runs a hit, no errors, one man left. We're going to the 7th. It's a 1-1 game on yes. The Rays have committed one error. Zobrist an RBI single, Cano a sac fly. That's the scoring, and a really nice job by Ivan Nova. A little shaky at the beginning, but boy, he's settled down. 6 innings, 7 hits, 1 run, and they were recording that for the newspapers and the internet in the press box here at Yankee Stadium.
Not a bad view there, huh?
Not at all. Cadillac scoreboard 1-1.
Is that the scribes?
Those are the scribes.
What?
Scribes.
This is a great Jason Zillo. Count 0-2.
Toronto ended it 13-5. They won. So what's that? 11 in a row.
11 in a row.
That'll get you back into things in a hurry.
Ooh, 2 games over 500 now. It's a big game for the Rays if you think about it. Coming in here to Yankee Stadium, boy, if they could eke out a split here somehow and get out of here, we'd get them to 2 games over 500. Otherwise, they fall right back to 500 if they lose this game. They lose 3 out of 4 at Yankee Stadium.
And that would come on the heels, David, of losing 2 out of 3 to the Red Sox. So you play your 2 rivals and you lose both series. But again, we're in the 7th inning. It's a 1-1 game. You look at Nova. Had such a great start to his big league career, and Joe Joe Girardi said something today. I wonder if you guys would agree. He said, I've always said it's a lot harder to stay in the big leagues than to get to the big leagues. He said, and I think that that's what's happened with Ivan. I would think it's pretty tough to get to the big leagues, but he said it's hard to stay.
Yeah, I think it is very hard to get to the big leagues. And
ground ball is short. Nix gets Escobar.
You can almost think that with his start, that it was a given that he was going to be here the next 10 years, and then all of a sudden he has fallen on times, and it's not by injury or losing stuff or something. It might be a little confidence, or some people just have that knack of kind of losing their concentration here and there. And as a hitter, it can cost you an at bat, and as a pitcher, it can cost you a pitch here or there that ends up being a home run, and it costs you a win or loss.
Now, the Yankees are worried about 2013, but every good organization looks ahead as well. Guys are ready in the bullpen if Nova gets somebody on. Nova, Pineda, and Phelps are so important to what they're trying to do next year. Andy Pettit, likely not going to be here. Kuroda, likely not going to be here. Phil Hughes is a free agent, likely not going to be here. Those are 3 spots in the rotation that have to be filled, and these young kids could take that.
No doubt about it. That was sort of the plan. Michael, you're dead on. And all the talk about the Yankees payroll this year, and even more important next year, about this threshold, Paulie. If the Yankees can get under a $189 million threshold next year, they can reset their luxury tax rate down to the lower rate. So what impact that has financially on an organization, it's obviously a lot and pretty important because they've talked about it.
Joyce with a fly ball to center. Backing up is Gardner for the second out.
Now, obviously, you still have Sabathia under control in your contract, and he's still your leader, but undoubtedly the Yankees are counting on those young pitchers that Michael mentioned. And really, every organization, if you look at the Tampa Bay Rays on the other side, that was their development of young pitchers, including Chris Archer today, was what allowed them to trade a guy like James Shields, who's one of the best in the game.
Here's Jennings, and he gets plunked. Fastball got away 95 miles an hour, so Jennings takes first. And I think it also got the umpire, too.
Stewart, he's going to take a ball out of his bag. Now,
just no defense when you get a ricochet, especially the umpires are just vulnerable back there, either off the bat or off a batter when he gets hit. You see he's exposed standing on the inside corner, and off of the elbow, 2 elbows, 2 for 1. Most major league umpires will stay on the inside corner to call even if the catcher moves outside, and he's completely exposed. And that's a little more than getting the funny bone. When you hit your funny bone on the table, that's going to hurt. Oh.
See the counter drop there.
All of a sudden, that balloon protector looks like a good idea.
Yeah.
Were you guys done by then when the balloon protector was gone?
Durwood Merrill used to still carry that balloon thing.
Yeah.
That thing used to crack me up looking back there. Old school with holding the big pad up.
Yeah, they would hold it up, and I tell you, the sound it made when a foul ball went straight back off of that big thing, it was just a thud, and they would just swallow it up.
Some people say there's a different strike zone with that because you could look right over the catcher. You don't have to go inside or outside.
Definitely. A lot of people thought it led to a higher strike zone. The American League kept the outside chest protectors, or those old guards, longer than the National League.
Zobrist cannot hold up 0-1.
Yeah, that was in the old days where you had National League umpires and American League, and they didn't flip-flop. Umpires go all over the place now.
Yeah, when umpires started dressing like catchers and wearing catchers' equipment, the strike zone changed.
Well, it does tell you what the Yankees think of Nova today. They've got two outstanding relievers ready. Zobrist has been very difficult for them this whole series, and they're letting Nova try to get him out with 2 outs here in the 7th and a run on.
I think if you're going to give Nova an opportunity to, pitch his way and be part of the rotation, ongoing, you have to show some kind of confidence in him. And he just got that huge double play in the inning before, so you're sure you got the bullpen up and ready, but you give him every opportunity to get out of these innings.
0-2.
Almost like a changeup. You've had so much movement on that sinker there. See this ball just dart down and away. I'll tell you what, unless you're looking, he's a left-handed hitter, to really take that ball the other way, nothing you can do with it.
102 pitches, that's a season high for Nova.
Also a good pitch for Jennings to run here on 0-2.
And that gets Zobrist. So we had him 0-2, and now you have to pitch to Evan Longoria. And I don't know if Nova's going to be the guy who does it.
Coney, that's big right there. Doesn't seem like much, but it does. It gets Longoria up there, and you're in an 0-2 count. You just overthrow that curveball, making sure you get it down and in, and you end up hitting him on the foot.
You could see Joe Girardi say, great job, and it was. 2 hit batters here in the 7th, and the crowd is going to give him a nice, well-deserved ovation. Yankees go to the bullpen. We'll be back. The Toyota Prius, official hybrid vehicle of the New York Yankees. All right, so the Yankees have a situation, 1st and 2nd, with 2 men out. A little bit of a dog of a situation right now, as Joe Girardi makes the call to the bullpen, brought to you by AT&T. And the Yankees bring in a guy who really knows how to get the strikeout, Sean Kelly. Not necessarily they need the strikeout here, or take an out of any sort. He has really been a revelation for this team. They picked him up right around spring training from the Mariners, and coming back from Tommy John surgery, he's been great. 43 strikeouts in 27 2/3 innings.
You can see that 4.55 ERA came early, sucked up some earned runs early in the year, but since that point has been really solid. And Nova on the day, pretty solid numbers as well. His fate rests in Kelly's hands right now. And Kelly's been especially good in this situation. He's stranded 15 of 16 inherited runners this year.
And there's a strike. This is one of the better players in baseball at the plate, Edmund Longoria. He walked in the first, struck out looking in the fourth, and a fly ball to left in the sixth.
Well, again, you have a couple times during the game where you can really win or lose the game. This might be one of those situations. You know, you've got their best hitter up there late in the game, tie game, scoring, runners in scoring position.
Just one hit and 7 at bats against Kelly, but it left the park. First and second, 2 outs. The 2-1. 3-1. James Loney is on deck.
A tough situation here, Kona. You're pitching. I mean, you can't give in to Longoria, but Loney's a lefty on deck. What's your thought?
Yeah, I think, you know, it's the first time we've really seen Kelly kind of overthrow that slider. He's had such good feel for it, and you see him kind of miss up with it. I think he gets right back to it and throws another one right here.
Tried. Right, he's just missing with that slider.
All right, so the base is loaded now for Loney.
Probably go to Boone Logan here, yeah.
That's exactly what they'll do. So Joe Girardi will go to his left-hander. Big situation in this game. Bases loaded, 2 outs, 1-1 game, top of the 7th. Stick around. As the skipper talks about being part of the Old Timers Day tradition with both player and manager. Then on Yankees on Deck, Andy Pettit heads out of the park and into the zoo. It's all later after the postgame, only on Yes.
Zoo guy, Michael?
No, I don't like the smell.
Don't do it?
You like the zoo?
I used to. I think I'm grown out of it. You know, as a kid, I thought it was pretty cool. After 15 years in the locker rooms, I guess we saw enough of the zoo.
Yeah, there's no smells that we haven't smelled before.
Well, here's Boone Logan.
Favorite animal, though?
Giraffes.
That's Neville's favorite animal.
We have a lot in common.
You got to go with the chimps, man. Tony?
Monkey exhibit all day long.
The chimps are hilarious, aren't they?
Yeah.
They lose me when they start throwing questionable things at each other.
Well, And they say they're smart, right? That's when Cody gets his cell phone out to video.
Post it right to Twitter.
Bases loaded, 2 outs, 0-1 count. Logan against Loney. And the lefty deals.
Just missed. There's a big breaking ball, and I tell you what, that's good pitch, because that's a pitch from a lefty that you can actually swing at. It fools you away. Just missed.
Hey, he hits lefties. 354.
Same pitch, and that just hit the corner. And again, that's Logan throws hard enough to snap off this big old breaking ball. You see Loney coming off of it in a pull mode.
Perfect location, right off the edge, the front edge. Boone Logan really establishing himself as one of the best lefties in the league in this situation. Last couple of years especially.
Lined into center field, a base hit. Jennings scores. Here comes Zobrist. He will score. It's a 2-run single for Loney, and the Rays take a 3-1 lead.
Well, yeah, there's a saying that you have after a couple curved sliders, you have to make a better one to get a guy out, and he hung this one over the middle of the plate. And it just sat there, and Loney had a great at bat, but you'll see this ball ends up middle, and that's a ball that a lefty can handle. You miss a little bit, ends up being a big hit for the Rays. And you saw Loney hesitate. When you hit the ball, you don't know if it's going to get past the shortstop. And you start directing traffic, seeing if those guys score.
Well, that's going to do it. That's going to do it for Logan. Now with Myers up, they go to another right-hander. It'll be Jabba. Jabba against Myers, first and second, and the Rays up by 2. Rangers on Tuesday, and the starting pitcher is brought to you by Verizon Fios, making life more entertaining with America's fastest, most reliable internet. That's powerful. That's a powerful pitching matchup right there. 2 outstanding pitchers. Yu Darvish against Hiroki Kuroda. Our coverage at Yes starts at 6, and the game is on My 9. First pitch will be right around 7:07. Looking forward to that one. Still a lot to go here as the Rays lead the Yankees 3-1. Jabba Chamberlain faces Will Myers, who grounds it foul. So the bullpen, which has been so outstanding all year. Well, Sean Kelly walks a batter, and then Boone Logan gives up the 2-run single. Jaba's numbers, this is his 18th game. He's allowed 7 earned runs in his last 4 2/3 innings, and that's over 5 appearances. And Nova watched both of his runners score. So it will not look as good of an appearance as it would have, but it really isn't his fault. 2 hit batters, and he ends up going 6 2/3, allowing 3 runs. Now Chris Archer has a chance to get a win if his bullpen helps him out. The 0-2. Strike 3. Myers down looking, so Jaba gets the final out. But 2 runs on just 1 hit and 2 runners left. At the end of 6 1/2, it's time for the 7th inning stretch here in New York. Rays lead the Yankees 3-1, but we'll stay right where we are to honor America in the Bronx.
And offer a moment of silent prayer as we remember the servicemen and women who are serving our country at home and around the globe. Thank you. Now, joining Kate Smith's rendition of God Bless America.
Finish off the Orioles 13-5 is the final. Jose Bautista 3 runs batted in. Edwin Encarnacion with 4. And then the Red Sox and Tigers all tied at 4. Bottom half of the 8th inning. Red Sox knocking out Justin Verlander in that one after 5 innings. Charged him with all 4 runs. 112 pitches. Jack Meredith and I, Michael, look forward with great verve and excitement to seeing you on the postgame.
Now, will you be doing the postgame from the third base side?
We will.
All right, can't wait. There's the American League East standings, updated through all the scores that Bob just gave you, the one final we know. So just 5 games in the loss column separate first place from last place. It's amazing, Bob, what the Jays have done.
They're on an absolute roll. 2 games now above 500. They've won 11 straight, and they're doing it all right now. Great hitting, and suddenly the pitching has bounced back.
And you know the Rays definitely want to win this one, so they don't have to sit alone in last place there. So now they turn to their hard-throwing left-handed Jake McGee to face the Yankees here in the 7th inning. So Chris Archer is done. It'll be Adams, Stewart, and Gardner against McGee. McGee is the guy who served up the bases loaded, bases clearing double to Vernon Wells yesterday. 1-0 to So David Adams.
McGee, I mean, he serves up that 97-mile-an-hour fastball, too. Vernon Wells got him yesterday, but Joe Madden doesn't hesitate one bit to get him back out there. Good power arm out of the bullpen for the Rays.
Fouled away. Cadillac scoreboard 3-1 Tampa Bay.
Interesting to see if McGee throws anything other than a fastball. He was all fastballs yesterday, high to upper mid to upper 90s. Then he finally got burnt by Wells, 97 out on the outside corner.
Kind of been that kind of series, Paulie. You know, a lot of 2-out big hits.
Yeah.
You know, Loney with the big one in the last inning, bases loaded, 2 outs. Yankees brought in Logan, matched him up lefty on lefty. He had a real good at bat. Seems like just about every game, the difference in the game has been big 2-out RBI hits.
Missed outside, count 2-2. One of the young timers on Old Timers Day, down for the count. Still 2-2.
See, McGee hasn't lost much. 95, 96. This is a power arm they can bring in. Again, Coney, I don't care how hard you throw. You've got to mix something else in there once in a while.
Kind of see Molina trying to get him to come in, too. Kind of everything was away yesterday.
Swing and a miss.
He took something off that one. It's you know, you get a guy fouling balls off, too many fastballs. Sooner or later, you've got to change speeds or do something. That was an 86-mile-an-hour slider. It's just too hard for a batter to make an adjustment when you haven't seen that pitch in the count.
It's the speed that gets him. Didn't really break a lot, didn't really do a whole lot, but it was about 10 miles an hour slower than the previous pitch.
Well, there's the matchup that decided yesterday's game, as Girardi will send Vernon Wells up to pinch hit for Chris Stewart. So Girardi going to Wells twice. And that one is driven deep to left center field. Johnson back, still back, and he makes the play in front of the track for the second out. So Wells gave it a ride, but it died right before the warning track. The vote for the Chevy Player of the Game, visit votechevy.com. Results will be revealed in the postgame show.
I don't know if you noticed, Michael Coney, that was a slider. Wells got him yesterday, saw 5 or 6 hard 97-mile-an-hour fastballs, but he went with a slider on the first pitch. Wells just hit it off the end of the bat. See how McGee loves that fastball. That slider doesn't have a lot of break. And it's just, you're right, it's almost like a changeup. Doesn't move much, but it just takes velocity off.
Gardner takes a 97-mile-an-hour strike.
That's a tough one there. And you just see Molina catches that ball and does not. It just gives the umpire such a good look, like everything hits the outside corner.
So one of the keys, I think, Paulie, with catching, I go off on pitcher framing, catcher's framing pitches, but I think Molina, he gets that glove hand elbow outside of his knee, which allows him to really control that glove hand. You see some catchers get their elbow, the receiving elbow, the glove hand elbow inside that knee. He keeps it outside the knee, kind of resting it right there on the knee. That's how he has such quiet, strong hands. See a lot of catching coaches going to that sort of a style now, whereas catchers before used to have their elbows inside their knees and Molina outside his knee, turning the glove to where he can frame it and not have a lot of movement on that glove.
No jabbing at the ball. You know, you just catch it and just frame it.
Buzz them inside 2-2.
Get your attention as a lefty when you got 2 strikes and you know you got to cover that outside corner, and all of a sudden you hear some 97-mile-an-hour under your chin. They're battling. There's another 97. That's up. Zone a little bit. Get a little better look from a lefty or a left-handed hitter. The ball is up.
Boy, Gardner is really hitting the ball well as he lines a single to center field.
You can't say enough about this at bat. Battle off some tough pitches. Finally getting one over the middle of the plate. Just line it up the middle. Really, really good at bat.
Well, Gardner more and more aggressive throughout this whole streak. It wasn't that long ago where Gardner really took more pitches than anybody in the American League, and that's really not the case anymore. We see him jump on first pitch fastballs. We see him be aggressive and swinging with a lot of confidence right now.
So starting with Gardner, 5 lefties in a row for McGee. (3-1) Rays lead the Yanks. Gardner hitting 28 for 81, 345 in the month of June.
Where Ichiro, should look for something middle in and see that batting practice swing he has. Try to find the porch on this lefty. Ichiro's hit lefties very well, but usually early in the count is when he'll look in and really try that Wade Boggs batting practice swing that we used to see. Ichiro hits home run after home run into the short porch in batting practice. Now, obviously, a little different speed, a little different time of day, but he's got that ability, and he usually picks his spots early in the count. So if McGee leaves one middle in, you might see Ichiro try to spin on one here.
Here's a strike.
Ichiro, you're going to have the reverse split, Paul. He's hitting 359 against lefties. Now it's a smaller sample size, but just 224 against righties. Obviously, he's going to face more righties than lefties.
As much as he bails, the lefty might be just enough for him to stay in a little bit longer.
That one is lined to right field, and Myers makes the play. Got a good jump. Ichiro hit it hard, but Myers ran it down. No runs a hit, 1 man left. We're going to the 8th inning of the stadium. 3-1 Tampa Bay.
He threw a stinking curveball, man. Me a freaking curveball. Are you serious? What's up with that? You know I'm stealing, too.
Do you think you had it?
Oh, I don't know. Man, I sound kind of dumb out there, don't you know when you hear yourself and you just don't, it doesn't register?
That was you.
It wasn't me.
That was you.
Yeah, I was pumped up there, though. I didn't strike out. I tell you what.
Kelly Johnson wraps one to right field where Vernon Wells is taking over for Ichiro. 1 pitch, 1 out.
All of a sudden, you foul a couple balls off, and even though it's an old-timers game, it's like, I can't strike out here. This is bad. And I knew Boomer was going to do something stupid. He had already thrown one more behind my head,
He was throwing knuckleballs, too, to the next guy. I mean,
nice.
Hyundai scoreboard 3-1, Tampa Bay. Did you think you got it?
No, I was out in front a little bit, but I'll take it any day. I was just happy that I could swing. I really coming into the ballpark, I didn't know I was going to swing.
Pitch to Molina's outside. Let's look at your swinging yes moment.
See, I'm out in front a little bit, but it got the barrel. See, if I'd have stayed back just a little bit longer, good follow through.
Went down and dug out that curveball
before it bounced. Molina, if you look back, I mean, he had that big at bat where he hit a double play, but then Loney kind of picked him up later. The Rays still have a 2-run lead.
Bottom of the 8th inning, Detroit now leads Boston 7-4. And Molina whips that one into left center field. It's a base hit. Almonte gets the ball in quickly, so a 1-out single by Molina. Second hit for Molina, 2 for 3 with a walk. And here's Yunel Escobar.
Coney, I don't know how to explain it because, Java's going through a tough time right now. He's giving up hits. He's giving up runs. But, that's 96 right there. He's got a good breaking ball. It's just, I don't know if he's one of those guys that you see the ball well or if he just makes enough mistakes to get hit hard.
Runner goes, and the ball off the glove of Romine. And how about that? Molina's going to have a steal.
I'll tell you one thing. That was a hit and run because I don't think Molina's going to steal very often. But every once in a while, if you don't look, you'll cheat and just steal. But
and you can. And Java's got a big leg kick as well.
So, Michael, say we're doing the game Tuesday night against Texas, right? It's a 7th inning, and it's a tie game, and they go to the bullpen. Who do you see Girardi going to at this point?
Well, let's see how Java finishes this out. Yeah.
So you think it's kind of a back and forth?
Very fluid. I also think that Kelly's very good, and he just didn't have command today.
Right.
Although there's a lot of lefties coming up, I could see him going to Logan. There's Joel Peralta up in the bullpen. .98 miles an hour. Ground ball to Nix. He gets Escobar for the second out. Jim Leyrit's out the game.
Leyland's getting pretty good tickets these days, huh, Cody?
Yeah, they got him right down there. Second row.
Another guy that's been a pretty big surprise for the Rays.
Matt Joyce grounds one to Nix, and that'll do it. No runs a hit. One man left. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It's 3-1 Tampa Bay. Armed him with a mic, and here's some of the sounds of Cone.
I'll wherever you like it, I'll put it right there. I did it for Tino. Tino took me deep 2 years ago. You're not officially retired, you know. You could still.
I feel retired.
Ow! Yeah, we're on live right now, Boom. Just to let you know.
I got you.
Woo! I almost threw a ball at Ricky Henderson right now. He turned away on me.
Good time, David?
Yeah, it was. There's nothing like it. Spanning the generations, just because we never get to see each other that much anymore. I haven't seen El Duque in years, and I really was looking forward to seeing El Duque and talking to him.
Hyundai scoreboard, Tampa Bay 3 and New York 1. Joe Madden, although there are 3 lefties due up, takes out Jake McGee and now brings in Joel Peralta, who struggled yesterday. So we'll see how this plays out for him. Cano will start it off. Sam Fold takes over in left field. And Cano swings at the first pitch and lofts it to center field. Jennings, 1 out.
Sometimes you look at Madden and he just does what he feels. And also McGee's thrown a lot of innings in this series. And you know, with this many lefties, you just can't keep throwing him out there.
That's going to bring up Hafner.
See the shift in full force now with nobody on base. See the guy that really falls off to the side there, Peralta. You see his follow through. That's a good zone defense we're working on the right side.
They switch it up, Paul. You know, Escobar's left on the left side, but they'll bring the Longoria, or the third baseman, all the way over. And even depending on who's hitting, they'll even switch up the right side a little bit, whether the second baseman or shortstop's playing. That sort of semi-softball position, but this time Longoria more in the two-hole where the second baseman would normally play.
This is Longoria who's playing. That's your third baseman, and your shortstop Escobar has stayed over here where he's supposed to be, so a different kind of shift.
Well, he explains that by just moving one guy out of position rather than two.
They'll even switch it up on the right side, you know, and sometimes Longoria will play the short right field position depending on exactly where they think the particular hitter is going to hit the ball or what his tendencies are. Preston Claiborne. Got a chance to talk to him a little bit on the bench today. He was out watching the Old Timers game. Very, very nice kid, respectful.
Did you get a sir or Mr. Cone?
Absolutely, sir. He said that he was living in a hotel in Midtown because he didn't trust the real estate brokers in Manhattan. So they were trying to rip him off. I said, you learn quick, kid.
2-2. Still 2-2.
You know, when you feel good at the plate, it looks effortless, and you just see Hafner. He's kind of caught in between. He's kind of pulling off a little bit. He stayed through a couple pitches at times, but that last pitch, you just see, you know, how he finishes up. And it's just off balance a little bit. It just means everything's just not in sync right now. You're a guy that'll battle through it and hopefully give you another big hot streak before this year's over.
Driven out to center field. Jennings on the run. He makes the play for the second out.
I'll tell you what, I think Peralta kind of quick pitched him there. You know, Hafner didn't look like he was quite ready, but with 2 strikes, you're not going to take any chances.
Well, this is part of Peralta's repertoire. Yes, we've seen him do that before.
Messes up the timing as a hitter. You know, that's the whole thing behind pitching, and sometimes you can do it with a wind up instead of taking something off the ball, but it just kind of rushes you as a hitter.
Overbay with a ground ball to second, a strikeout, and another ground ball to second. The 1-0. 1-1.
We talked about it in game 1 where they weren't scoring runs, and it's just, it doesn't get the crowd involved. It's just, you know, everybody's kind of waiting for that big hit or something to go. You know, without offense, it's hard to get the home crowd involved. Waiting for the couple runners, something that you can cheer about.
It's a good point. You know, we used to say that on the bench sometimes. You know, when you have team meetings, they'd say, well, the bench is dead. You know, we need some cheers. Well, give us something to cheer about,
exactly.
Right?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to cheer the ground outs and the fly outs. The way pat a guy on the back so many times and say good swing, you know.
Fly ball, center field. Jennings ties a record held by many with 3 putouts as the Yankees go down in order 1, 2, 3. And we're going to the 9th inning. Yankees trail this one 3-1. Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Jeep. Visit Jeep.com to learn more. By Heineken, open your world, enjoy responsibly. And by your Tri-Honda dealers. Hurry to your local Tri-Honda dealer for great deals on the 2013 Accord. Ricky Henderson bringing the snatch back to Old Timers Day. As we go to the 9th inning, and Preston Claiborne will deal to Desmond Jennings. And there's a strike. Claiborne's numbers, 18 games, 1.61. Just 2 walks in 22 1/3 innings. Popped up. Cano on the outfield grass will make the play for the first out. Well, after the final out, don't miss the WB Mason postgame as Bob Lorenz and Jack Curry recap all the day's Old Timers festivities and bring you highlights from today's series finale. Plus, Meredith Marakovitz gets the players' thoughts about the day. It's the WB Mason postgame, live from Yankee Stadium, only on Yes. Here's Ben Zobrist against Claiborne. Pitch outside, 1-0. Zobrist RBI single in the first, grounded to first and third, struck out in the 5th, hit by a pitch, and that was a key hit by pitch in the 7th. Because that knocked Nova out of the game. They then brought in Kelly. Kelly walked Longoria. They brought in Logan, and Logan gave up a 2-run single to Loney. And that's the difference in the game right now. 3-1 Tampa Bay.
Yeah, it all started out innocently enough. 2 outs and a hit batter. And another hit batter.
Yeah, and at this point, you know, you're down 3-1, and you're down because you got beat in a matchup that you really want. You want Boone Logan throwing to a lefty late in the game in a big situation. It just so happens that, you know, Looney came up with a big hit today.
Only the 3rd walk of his big league career as Claiborne walks over. It's not something you want to do with Longoria coming up. Longoria 0 for 2 with 2 walks. Zobrist gets back. Count 1-0.
Tell you one thing, Connie, you're out in the field and you're looking at the scoreboard. You know you've got 1 inning left. You want a quick inning. You want to get right back in that dugout, try to put a rally together. You don't want to see ball 4 in a long inning where you kind of get caught on your heels and lose sight of where you are in the game.
Ball gets away from Romine. Second time that's happened since he's come in. That should be a pass ball. And it is. Could not handle the pitch where Molina was going. Ended up being a stolen base. Now Joe Girardi quickly out to the mound. You want to pitch to Longoria? You want to take a chance with Loney? 2-0 count on Longoria. What would you do, David?
Well, you know, just trying to mind meld with Girardi here. Yeah, I think he's just telling Claiborne, hey, no, stay aggressive. You know, the strength of Claiborne was when he came up, it took him about 20 innings to walk a guy. So it was his control, it was his guts that was so impressive, and you don't want to see him shy away from that. Just that was your strength. That's why you're here, and that's what's going to keep you here.
94-mile-an-hour fastball on the block, 2-1.
You love to see young guys go after hitters like Longoria.
Especially when you're 2-0, you know, not to get gun shy, to believe in that you can still get out a good hitter. Good pitch there. A good fastball and then a good slider in the same location.
Want to look ahead to the bottom of the 9th inning. It's Almonte, Nix, and Adams. And if anybody gets on, Wells, who's batting in the 9 hole.
Just kind of looking at Joe Madden's numbers, Paulie. Boy, they's really putting together some stretch here.
Winning percentage wise. It's not like he walked into an ideal situation, too. They were a bad team years ago.
Strike 3 as Longoria down looking. He did not give up on 2-0 and threw 3 nasty pitches.
Came right back and got him, and you see this is just perfectly placed and probably just off the plate as Longoria reaches over the plate to get a good look at it. But you love the motion of Claiborne driving that 4-seamer down. You hit the glove, sometimes just off the plate you get the call.
Here's Loney with a runner at second and 2 outs. He's gotten a big hit in this game, a 2-run single in the 7th. Count 1-0.
Day for Loney.
Big day, hot hitter. I mean, hot hitters are really, really good hitters, and those are the guys you got to watch throughout the game, you know, because their confidence is so good. To me, right now, you know, you're 2-0 with him. I got no problem with, you know, going with Myers, who's on deck. This is a guy that's already shown that today he's swinging the bat well.
And they will intentionally walk him.
I would anticipate, Paulie, you know, this is what you're going to see the rest of the year. Not necessarily in this situation, but with the American League East. You know, we've noted Tampa Bay trying to get out of this series with a split here if they can hold on. Boston has lost already today. Toronto has won their 11th in a row. So the American League East just getting tighter and tighter. These guys are going to beat up on each other all year long for the rest of the way. Kind of look at scheduling on down the road here. You know, what I look at is in your division, first of all. When I look at the records up to this point, American League East, what have you done head-to-head in your division?
Myers grounds one to short. Nix to second, and that will do it. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 2 men left. We go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Maybe they can conjure up images of the old-timers that made the Yankees great. Whitey Ford and Yogi Berra here today. Does it carry over to the Yankees now? Fernando Rodney. He is coming to protect a 3-1 lead against the Yankees. One time this year and he blew it. Overbay walks. Bosch hits one down the left field line. That scores Overbay. And then Gardner ties the game with a single to center field. Later on in the game, Overbay would win the game. So Fernando Rodney, who likes to shoot an arrow into the air when he closes the game, Yankees are hoping he does not take a quiver out today. 7 saves last year against the Yankees, and this time 1 save, 2 2/3 innings, 3 runs, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. Did not allow a run to the Yankees last year at 9 2/3, just walked 1 and struck out 11.
We talked about Rodney, how dominant he was last year. Not quite the same this year, but I mean, these are the games you've got to have if you're the Rays. I mean, you come into Yankee Stadium, you've got a couple-run lead going into the 9th inning. You've got to get on that bus with the win.
Here is Zoilo Almonte. He is 2 for 3, 2 doubles. Count 1-0.
97 right there, Tony. Huh?
Yeah, he's got a very unusual delivery, and he's got a really good changeup to go with that. Good fastball. Well, I don't think there's anybody in the major leagues with a delivery like this. Almost no leg kick. Almost like Bernie Williams used to hit, maybe a toe tap.
Boy, it's amazing how much he generates as far as velocity with no leg kick, no drive.
Just a couple little taps right there and just go.
He does drop, which gets that weight on that back leg so he can drive, but still, there's that good changeup.
Joe Madden. the manager of the Rays, as you see. Almonte probably didn't see a changeup like that in AAA. He described the delivery as he has a delivery where he looks like the Tasmanian devil, and then he throws the ball and it's like Bugs Bunny. So it kind of describes it, really. I mean, you don't know what's coming at you, and then all of a sudden that changeup out of nowhere.
Well, one thing that we have seen from this youngster, he is very patient. He's not jumping out of his spikes. He's working the count to 3-2. You're going to have to throw strikes to get him out. They threw him a strike.
3-2 changeup. I mean, that's something right there. And he's got to throw that pitch for a strike because, I mean, it's going to fool you 3-2 so much. It's a good pitch.
Too close to take.
Kind of locked him up. You see a little tailing action, just barely runs back and catches the edge on the inside corner. So you almost get locked up because you expect a fastball in there.
Absolutely.
And you got the slow stuff. You got the Bugs Bunny.
Pitch inside to Nix. Nix 1 for 3 in his career off Rodney. 98-mile-an-hour fastball is high, 2-0.
Fernando Rodney almost had a really did have a historically good year last year. Almost falling back to the average this year a little bit. Stuff still looks the same. Velocity still there. Everything looks the same, even the crooked hat. Almost looks like he's looking in the dugout, Paul.
Two and two.
But he started early this year. He was the closer for the championship Dominican Republic team, too, in the WBC. So he was throwing 98 miles an hour in early March.
I'll tell you one thing, if you're a hitter, you're looking up at the sky, hoping those clouds will get here. These are big at bats in the 9th inning, and the shadows are starting to show up.
99 miles an hour. He blew it right by Jason Nix. Yankees down to their final out.
It's another guy that you look at his stats, and he's got a 5 ERA, over a 5 ERA, and he's throwing 99 with one of the better changeups in the American League, in all of baseball.
Just his command hasn't been as good as it was last year. He had 23 walks in 30 and a third innings coming in. That's really the difference.
Here's David Adams.
Pretty good control today, though, in this game.
Taking a look around the ballpark. And ahead of Adams, 0-2.
I'll tell you what, I can't help but be impressed. You see 97 and the ball's running in on his hand. Now he's set up to throw that changeup again or go away with the fastball.
Swing and a miss, got him. And he shoots the arrow, and the Yankees lose this game 3-1. Rodney comes on and strikes out the side. And the base hit by Loney in the 7th inning. The difference, a 2-run single, broke up a 1-1 tie, and it remains that way as the Yankees lose this one 3-1. They split the 4-game set with Tampa Bay. Stick around for the post-game show to find out who's today's Chevy player of the game. Well, Ivan Nova in a spot start, getting called up from the minor leagues, actually does quite well. But after hitting 2 batters in the 7th inning with 2 outs, he turns it over to the bullpen, and the bullpen lets both runners score. So he does well, but he does get the loss as the Yankees lose this one 3-1. Day off tomorrow, but we'll come back. We've got an award to give.